Yo, Jamal. Yep, we are almost at the new chapter. Joel Hunt, what's up? Just planning. Well, didn't really plan the stream. I was just kind of like, I want to write my One Piece stuff, but then a bunch of things came out today, and I was just like, bleh. And so I was like, when I feel bleh and at nighttime, I should just stream to get my bleh out of the way, to get remotivated. So I'm hoping you guys ask me questions and then I get excited and then I just go write my scripts or finish my scripts. I need like a distraction, not distraction. It's like a weird situation where it's like I want to. It's like trying to find hobbies that are like what's it called? Not interesting. Man, I can't come up with the words. That probably can show you how bleh. Hey Boog, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, babe. Time Lord, what's up? Yo, what is this Savage? That's dope. Oh, is that Randy Troy? Ooh. Randy streams on Twitch? Ooh. Ooh, what does he stream? Pokemon Oh, that's a good game for me to get, is it not? Dang, I'm gonna catch a Randy Troy stream then. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, I gotta change this. Oh, hold on. Edit panels? No. Oh, I need to get people to like help me on doing YouTube things or like content creator things. Like I'm looking into sponsorships right now. There's like two things because I qualify for it, and it'd be really helpful to have sponsors. I think that One Piece stock they got better help, and their system looks pretty good. But I was just thinking like, if I can get sponsors, then I'll definitely be increasing my output of videos because then I could just like, you know, there's and also it's like not just the output of videos, like it's not just like nonsense videos, it's like there's so many. You guys know like my Otahime video, like where I was just talking about like a really cool thing to think about with One Piece. I have so many like things like that, like just like these videos that are just like they're not like super relevant to like current manga, but like they're so fun to think about and there's just good things to like think of. I don't know, just cool stuff to talk about. And I feel like in general that's what my channel is about, right? Like just talking about really cool things and it being related to One Piece. Yo, Z-Whale, what's up? Yeah, the break has been long, but I needed it. I needed this break for sure. If we didn't have this break, then I wouldn't have been able to get to the streams that me and Hidden got to do. What do you think about Luffy's mom possibly being a celestial dragon that committed the worst crime and had a kid with Dragon, the ultimate enemy of them? Also, it's from Anime Uproar's video, but just wanted to hear your thoughts. Emmy Dot, what's up? Okay. Luffy's mom. All right. We gotta toss out the biggest theory. The biggest theory around Luffy's mom. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? What's the biggest theory with Luffy's mom? While you guys answer, let me fix this thing because I just realized that my old YouTube... Actually, no. This should still take me to my YouTube channel. Alright, cool. Alright, cool. Okay. Yeah. What do you guys think the biggest? Yeah, the Croco mom. Honestly, like, all right, the Croco mom theory. Like, I'm not saying I believe it. I also haven't seen videos on it. When I heard about it, I already had like an inkling because I remember when it was like getting traction like on TikTok or wherever, Twitter. Um, I was rereading Impel Down. I was it was around uh the Devil's Invitation for Zoro. Yeah, so like there was some interesting things with Ivankov that just kind of like were like, huh. And the thing is, it's like Oda said that he's already drawn Luffy's mom in the manga. Like we just don't know who or what or where or like not in the like he said he drew her already, but we don't know like and he described her too. Uh he described her Luffy mom SBS. I'm pretty sure. So he says, okay, his parents, well, I think you'll be pleased with the next volume. Get excited. Okay, so this is chapter 424. One Piece. Ooh, that's an important chapter for some reason. Why is that an important chapter? I remember that. Oh, 424 is when Verth is on. Okay, so this is volume 44. So that means in volume 45. What is volume 45 covering? Let's see what this says. Okay. Some of you might not know, in volume 44, Oda-san said that Luffy's father. Here, let me make this bigger so you guys can follow along a little bit better. One Piece viewer. I'm just not going to bring up panels. Should be fine too. Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay. Real question though, have we seen Kino? Yes, I have watched that. The remake one, the one that was like 13 episodes or something. I watched that. I loved it. I loved that. That is an anime that I'd recommend to like a lot of people, first time watchers also, because it's a good anime to get into like anime. I feel like that's a really good anime to get into anime. I told my wife to watch that one. Maybe I should recommend it to her again because it's like what it does is it shows you so many different concepts and world concepts, like because each country is its own world, and I love the idea of like why that world exists. It makes so much sense, and it teaches you so much about like world and government and psychology and and it's also unique too, so it's like you know, like if like I got my wife into Promise Neverland first, and that one was a good one for sure, but then the second season was trash. But like if she just watched the first one, that gets you interested in anime and really cool ones and a certain genre, and it's a good setup, right? But then I got her into Demon Slayer, and Demon Slayer is awful to be introduced. Like if that's your first take on anime, everything's gonna be so hard to watch because Demon Slayer is so beautiful. But in terms of show, like you know, like the shonen thing, Demon Slayer is solid. But like visually, Demon Slayer is a bad one to get into. But Kino no Tabi, that one, if I'm correct, hold on, let me make sure, because like I'm pretty sure this is the. Yeah, Kino's Journey. But I watched the Beautiful World. I watched this one, the remake. This one? Yeah, I watched this one. This one's really good. Was it 12 episodes? Yeah. I loved this one. It was really good. Sorry, hold on. I got distracted. It's strange how okay, back to One Piece. It's strange how every time we see Crocodile, it's never from the front, barring his child. Did you really say that? Yes. And give me a whole new perspective. I'm just tired of seeing Croco Mom. Yeah. Before we start this, I have something like that. Big Mom acquired Caramel's power, but Caramel supposedly disappeared. I wonder if Big Mom accidentally ate. Yes, she ate her 100%. If this is true, does that mean you can acquire Devil Fruit power by eating? Yes, I believe so, and that'll play into the next theory. I think that's relevant. That might. Okay. Hear me out. This is a crazy idea. Okay. That might be the real reason why Shanks saved... Okay, this is tinfoil hat theory. That might be the real reason why Shanks saved Luffy, right? Because Luffy had just eaten the Sun God Nika fruit, right? So let's just say Shanks knew that that's the fruit, right? Technically, and so just keep in mind, when Luffy got taken away, yes, he wanted to save him, but then, like, he kind of just let Higuma leave. And this is Shanks. This is Mihawk fought Shanks already fought Mihawk by that point. His observation hockey has to be there, right? So then it's like, why like that scene was so weird, like, oh no, Luffy's gone, blah blah blah. He didn't do anything, right? What if he wanted Luffy to die to Higuma, right? But the problem was, if the Sea King ate Luffy, then the Sea King would get Luffy's devil fruit, just like how Big Mom eating Caramel. Like, think about that. That'd be crazy. So Shanks was like, oh fuck, like I gotta save Luffy now, because if the Sea King gets it, then that's a problem. But then again, he could just kill the Sea King. But let's get back to the main question. Luffy's mom could have been Lunarian, given credits to firepower. Possible. I thought that's what this scene gave off. Oh, Sao Coco. Yes. The remake quality of... Yeah, so it was the remake, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It was just like... I don't know. When I saw it, it just seemed like a whole thing. When they say... My first time was in Yasha back in Toonami's. Yes. That... I wish I got into it. I knew a lot of people that did. It's definitely a good one, though. I watched some of it. That was a good one. Whitebeard ate part of Whitebeard then. His heart, his spirit, maybe. Emida, I'll answer that in a second. Well, yeah, I'd like to think he liked Luffy. Yes, he did like Luffy. But he didn't give Luffy the Straw Hat yet. I think once he gave him the Straw Hat, that's when Shanks put the tie in, right? Up until then, it's just like, hey, don't step on my friend. You know what I mean? But it's an interesting thing. Can an object be given a fruit? Can an object given a fruit awaken their fruit? Well, we don't know. Zunisha might be that. I really think Sun God Nika was originally a Lunarian, and the genes have been passed down with the white hair and flame powers. Yes. I can... that was in my latest video. I think it would make a lot of sense to me if the gods, like the god of the forest, god of the river, or rain, god of sun, god of earth, they were all like the peak of each race. It's like Sun God Nika could be peak Lunarian. God of the Earth could be peak Giant or Ancient Giant. God of the Forest could be peak Mink. And then God of Rain could be peak Fishman. Like one of the things was like Vars. Vars looks like a fishman, right? So what's to say that Vars wasn't a peak fishman? Hey, Jodmanu, what's up, fam? Oh, I gotta respond to somebody on Discord, actually. I don't know why seeing your message reminded me of that. Back to what you were saying. Dragon could be God Clan. They murdered his commoner wife. Luffy having white hair. Yep, Emmy. Yeah. So Sun God Nika could be a Lunarian, 100%. I talk about it more in my last video. I mean, the other part is like the stretchy thing, right? Like King can fling his face into Zoro. Like, where's that stretch part come from? Is that Lunarian, or is that just like his weird devil fruit? And if it's his weird devil fruit thing, that ties into one of my theories that's coming up. But don't forget, Marco mentioned Whitebeard talking about, yeah, so the Lunarians are gods, right? Queen said it. The whole context of Marco saying it was reference to King, and the Lunarians being on top of the red line before the Celestial Dragons. It would make sense if Nika was a Lunarian. It would make sense. But the one thing is, where are the wings, right? It's an interesting thing that like is like, why doesn't Nika have wings if he's Lunarian? Can't we do some thinking about? So, and then that gets into the question like, what does a hybrid Skypian or Sky Islander look like? Is there an example of a Sky Islander who ate or not ate, who is a hybrid? Do they still have wings? Like, what goes on? And what's really interesting, and I talked about it in my chapter reaction 1037 or 1036, when Zoro beat King, he chopped off one of his wings. So not all of it, but does King not have wings anymore? Or not wings, but like, does that grow back? Like, what happens, right? That's super interesting. That's why you're the goat. I want to see what Onigashima used to be called as well. Yep. When you get a chance, look into Jormungandr from Norse mythology. The world serpent theory? Wait, are you talking about the Whitestrom thing? Okay, raise your hand if you were here for... Oh, wasn't this in that game? Like that one game with like... forgetting the name of it, but it went like on TikTok. Like, this dude, he threw an axe in the middle of the water, and then this giant snake comes out, and it's like this massive thing. I don't even know how you fight it. But who is here in the Hidden Island stream? Like the 5-hour stream? I gotta have one of my emotes has gotta be a hand raise thing. What is Nightbot's problem? You literally had one hand symbol. Like, this is why I unmodded Nightbot, because like I just need to figure out what the hell's going on. Jormungandr. So Thor hated Jormungandr? Interesting. You know what? I want to actually look at this. What is the... I don't want to give you guys any hints, but I'm very interested in ice. Frozen worlds. World of Mist. Oh, Sekiro, God of War. I don't know if you played Sekiro, but it has live Japanese. I have not. God of War might be it. It could be Kashi and Nola's ancestors. Yeah, it could be actually. Covered in blood, the red line. Interesting. Yeah, Hunt, you put the hand thingy and Nightbot didn't spaz out. I'm gonna ban Nightbot. Like, honestly. I want to read this, like the Okay. Before we get into Norse mythology, hold on. Let's go. Let's walk back a little bit. I want to finish this Luffy's mom thing. As far as Luffy creating fire on his fist, the elder said there's supposedly only limited. This would mean that Luffy could cover his fist with fire, lightning, or ice if you imagine he could. Emiya. Let me just say, there's a connection between Aokiji and Brook. I mean, like, yes, they're ice powers, but like, I think Oda has a different play going for Aokiji than what we think. I'm just gonna leave it there. I have some crazy video. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I get these sponsorships, bro, like you guys will never be done. Like, you guys will just get non-stop One Piece videos for the next 5 years. Think the lightning he grabbed is the spear of Nika? It could be. It could be. Yeah, the Frost brothers or Cool brothers? The Cool brothers, I think. Okay, back to the Luffy's mom thing real quick. I just want to, because since I looked it up, I want to just finish it. People weren't very sure if it was only the father that was going to be drawn or if it was both Luffy's father and mother. This kanji third sense, Oya, means parent or parents, but it can be read both plural and singular, so even in general quite clear. If Oda's drew Luffy's mother in volume 45 as well, Dragon was drawn in volume 45, so Oda could have just meant that. All right, no, I remember there was something else. There was something else that. Okay, so that one. Okay, so this is saying it was saying that this is volume 44, and the next one was the Fist of Love stuff. Annie's Lobby, I'm guessing, right? Wait, hold on. What is this? Whoa. Whoa, that is a picture of Robin for sure. Hey, whoa. Hold on. Hey, hold on. Guys, hold on. What did we just stumble across? What are you holding, Luffy? Hello? Wait. Luffy? Sun God? Buddy? Is this... Do we just happen to stumble upon... You know what I forgot to do? I just need to... I forgot. Okay. Someone remind me before I go to set up Restream. Because I have the VODs channel, and I just need to put my VODs up there. Like, these streams, it just needs to go up there. I don't know why I don't... I'm so mad at myself. Yeah, wait, hold on. What's this? Hold on. This is actually like... Right? That's really goddamn close. All right. All right, we're gonna do it. Okay, hold on. You guys are gonna see. Um, I'm gonna, we're gonna tweet it. What should the tweet be? Most of you will be distracted by Robin, Robin fan service, but then you'd be missing Sun God Nika's spear in chapter 431. Right, that's a solid tweet, right? Type a tweet. This is my Twitch stream is now a contest. Let's see who comes up with the best tweet. I might not use any of your guys' things though, because you might be ass, but just flaming my chat. Luffy Nika spear. It's a stretch, I know, but Sun God Nika spear? I could dig that one. Let me see what's trend if a One Piece thing is trending right now. I don't see anything. All right. Robin's jugs in the spear of lust. Oh god. Okay. It needs to. We need to include Sun God Nika in there. Laughs talking about Luffy, and he says it's a stretch. Lol. 1047 is trending. Wait, is the spoilers aren't out, right? Spoilers are not out. Oh god, the spoilers are out. Oh god. Alright, I guess we're gonna work on that bandwagon then, because I'm not gonna read the spoilers. Alright, no spoilers. Okay, let's get that out the window. I did not know the spoilers are out. Maybe I wouldn't have streamed. Okay, raise your hand if you did read the spoilers. Don't say the spoilers. Also, okay, yo, Matt Cypher, what's up? Okay, I did. Oh, Dream Shake, what's up? I don't always, but today. Okay, I won't spoil though. Okay. All right. So don't spoil it, right? Now, both of you guys were in the Hidden Island stream. With like the dual stream, right? And do you guys remember our 1047 prediction of like, don't say what the predictions were because I keep it cryptic for everybody else, but I know what the predictions were. And if you remember, just say yes, it was mentioned, or no, it was mentioned, or no, it wasn't mentioned. That's it. That's it. That's it. No other spoilers. Because my videos aren't gonna be like in line with the things. I don't really care. Plus, it's another break week too. Any spicy theories today? No. So what happened was I was like, twas okay. Okay, that's it. That don't no more details. No more details. No more details. No more details. Um. Okay, don't say anything more than just yes it was or no it wasn't. If it like the question is, if you watched me and Hidden Island stream about our 1047 predictions, we both kind of said the same thing and we ended up agreeing. So if the spoilers support that, just say yes it does or no it doesn't. That's all I need to know. Nothing else. I don't care what we're talking about, what the chapter title is, that kind of stuff. I don't what the image is. But that being said, what was I doing? Oh yeah, so I was explaining today's stream. Today's stream is just like I was like supposed to be writing my scripts, procrastinated. A lot of things came up today, made it difficult to think, I guess, and be motivated and focus. Like it's kind of like, you know what it is? It's like when you know your life is like there's like some priority things that are just kind of like meh. It just makes you like, damn, am I really gonna sit here and record about One Piece? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's just some things like that where it's just like worrisome topics. But yeah, so then I was just like, if I'm in this meh mood, I might as well just stream and then talk to you guys and get motivated and like get excited. Cause then like maybe I'll do like a shorter stream and I'll stop at like 1 hour and then I can do my script and finish it. And maybe a good way to do about it is just talk about my most recent script or the script that I'm working on, because there's not that many people here, so it's not like I'm gonna spoil anything. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah, and then I can add. Yeah, wow. Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll do that. I'll just read the script that I'm working on that I want to get out next, and then that'll boost me into working on my other scripts. That's a great idea. Okay, so this is the tweet that's gonna be going out. With this picture. You might be distracted by Robin fan service, but then you'd miss Sun God Nika's spear. This is the cover spread from chapter 431. Why is Luffy holding this? Also, Chopper's hat. Wait, hold on. Chopper's hat is really interesting too. Interesting. Is there anything else in this? Is this Shanks? Is this Big Mom? Is this Kaido? And is that Blackbeard? No, this would be Kaido, King of Beasts. That'd be Big Mom, right? That would be Shanks, the snake. That would be then Whitebeard, because Whitebeard's alive still. I have a theory. What about if that spear is similar to him grabbing the lightning? Yeah, it definitely could be. Like, I'm just like, you know, with theories, you gotta have more than one thing in the bag, and that's why I'm on this like hunt. That's why the Zeph calling Luffy the spear of blind grit is really interesting. This image, this is literally the spear. Like, this is literally the spear. It's just a little odd shaped, but like, we always were wondering, like, what is this acorn thing? A lot of people are like, oh, that's Nolan's hat, right? But like, this is literally the spear. You have to sub if you didn't notice the spear first. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna send out this tweet so I can focus back on here. All right, tweeted. Go like it. Whatever it takes. Get me viral, fam. You know what? Actually, I'm deleting my tweet. I'm gonna add that actually. You have to sub if you didn't notice the spear first. Oh my goodness. I've messed up the tweet. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, that. Then this. Then add that. Then what? Okay, there's that. Then we do this. There we go. Should be good now. Boom. All right. And if you guys aren't already on my Twitter, that is my Twitter. Actually, you know what? While we're doing Twitter stuff, I just need to check this every once in a while. That this is available. Ugh. Robin is being used as a booby trap. Exactly. Okay. So now back to the theories, right? So ice stuff. Okay, Luffy's mom. Wait, Oda said that? Oda said mother is the opposite of adventure? No. Wait, hold on. You know, like, see, yeah, I just clicked on it because I think they have the answer to what I was saying. I don't really use them for much things other than Japanese to English. Mother? Okay. Now... adventure. Why did he say that? Is there a particular reason he said this? Oop, not that. And then... oop, not that. These... interesting. Yeah, he did say that, but like the way he said that's because the answer is simple. That's because mother is the opposite of adventure. I was just trying to see if that in Japanese, like if that's like the thing, or like if there's like a pun there or something. Instead of adventure, Jesse, and that's been Dragon's fan all along. Yeah, it's interesting. Oh, so then this is just hold on, let me see this. Let me see 70 what did it say? 78. 78. Apparently there's another mom answer. Mother. Yeah, he says the antonym for adventure. That's interesting. Time Lord. True. You know, upon looking at them up close, the animals may represent the crew. Usopp's the cow. Cow. Zoro. Sanji. Frankie. Nami? Interesting. Could be. Possible. Wait, what is this in reference to? Oh. Oh yeah, so then the people saying that Luffy's mom was in the manga, that's not true. That's not true at all. Okay, so that's debunked. I'm glad I looked this up then. Because I thought that he said that he drew Luffy's mom in the thing. But no. He said, someone asked, will you ever draw Luffy's parents? And he said, you'll be pleased with the next volume. And the next volume, that's when Garp revealed that Dragon was Luffy's dad. So that's what that meant. So I'm pretty sure people took this and said that Oda drew Luffy's mom, which is not true. Nami's hat is on elephant. Snake has Sanji's tie? Wait, Snake has Sanji's... Interesting. Then Usopp never wears a hat. Who would wear a hat? Ash Ketchum? No. I was trying to see if there's any connection to this Zoro. Usopp has worn a hat, but it's not like symbolic of him that much. Like Sanji tie is more symbolic. Not Nami's hat, I remember that. But I don't think this is that crazy thing. Wait, isn't Sanji's tie black? Luffy has a tie. It honestly looks like Luffy's wearing Sanji's outfit. Yep, it is. No one else's though. I don't want to get ban hammered. I feel like oh my goodness. I feel like I'm gonna have a series of me going through all the SBS and just like maybe I should do it like in this format where I just like scroll through the SBS and just like free ball mind the topics and then I post that. Maybe each week I should go through an SBS. Maybe that should be a tradition. Like Sunday SBS, Saturday SBS, Saturday SBS streams. Right? That's a cool idea. Maybe we do that. Imagine if Sanji beat Khalifa, yeah. All right, so we're gonna have to. Okay. So let's do this. Manga C440. I shouldn't get ban hammered for this. This is a quick run through. Come on, scroll through. Oh wait, they don't have the. Oh, Okay, so they don't have the SBS here. Did they post on the next one? No. Damn. Wow. Dope scene. Okay, we're done with that. So let's see back here. What do they say exactly? He says, will you ever draw Luffy's parents, right? So this guy is saying, this kanji in the third sentence is spelled oya, and it means parent or parents in Japanese. But it can be read both plural or singular. So he could have just meant dragon. It didn't necessarily mean Luffy's mom. And he didn't even say that he was going to draw. He just said that you're going to be pleased with the next volume. And the next volume is where Garp just says, hey, Luffy's dad is dragon. So that's probably what he meant that there. So I don't think it meant Luffy's mom at all. What's very laggy? My stream is laggy? Oh no. Skip frames 26% over the last 2 minutes. Are we good now? That's never happened before. Okay. Alright, we should be good now. May you post a link? Yeah, sure, go for it. Nightbot's not gonna ban you. I know you, Coco. You're not some rando. What if Dragon has an asexual reproduction animal zone like a jellyfish, so he's technically the mom and the dad? Nah. Definitely not. I think Luffy has a mom. I think Oda just doesn't like... Not that he doesn't like moms, but like he's saying, like, it's a story about adventure, so he wouldn't want to have moms. Okay, let's see what's sent. Let's put it through the screening. Okay, I see. I know. I know that Usopp wears hats. I'm just saying that it's not like a staple, right? It's Usopp and hat isn't the same thing as Sanji and tie. You know what I mean? Like, the equivalent isn't there. I don't think he meant like moms are anti-fun. It was just like I think what Time Lord is saying is more like, you don't like moms, you know, like they're safe and warm and homey, you know. I think Oda has a very solid image of moms and like home and happiness in a way, and that's why whenever we see like moms in it, it's like when they get taken away, it's like destructive, right? Into to the characters, and like Sanji, Nami, Shirahoshi, right? Like when these moms are ripped from them, that destroyed their home. Their homes changed, the livelihood, their everything changed, right? But then dads, Oda has a very different perspective of dads. Dads are like always a source of trauma. Like, yeah, Nightbot's not a friend. All right, but I'm now convinced that Oda never drew, because there was a whole wait, hold on, what was that? Let me know if I get... Oh, wait, more? 34%? 2 minutes ago? What is this? Why is my stream... Oh, give me a second, guys. I know why. It's gonna lag a little bit. Give me a second. I know why it's lagging though. What do I do here? Okay, let's do this. Boom. Yeah, I'm gonna need to just do this for a second. Da, 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 da. It's gonna be lagging, guys. Hold on tight. Alright, we should no longer have any problems with the stream. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me click on this. Whitebeard versus Shanks. That's an interesting depiction. I mean, we saw Whitebeard, Shanks, that chapter. Ace, you know, Blackbeard. That makes sense. Interesting. Yeah, Kiros is a good dad. Capone is a good dad. Besides the point, Oda tries to make offense. You don't need a real family to have the warmth, the closeness, as long as you have care about it. Yep. But yeah, as I was saying, there's a lot of people that I think took this and thought that Oda drew Luffy's mom in the manga, including me, and I'm pretty sure that's not true now. Pretty sure that's completely not true. But now we circle back. Luffy's mom, Shandian, Lunarian, Celestial Dragon. I like the Celestial Dragon idea. Because it's like a Will of D, like a D member, dragon, plus a Celestial Dragon. That'd be kind of crazy. Then there's also the other one, where Luffy's mom is Garp's daughter, and Dragon is related to Rocks. There's also that one. And also, the Dragon being related to Rocks part isn't even necessary. But because, like, Luffy and Garp look the same, but Dragon... Do we have pictures of Dragon as a kid? Did Oda ever do that? Oda draws Dragon as a kid. Someone said this one has Dragon, so let's see. Garp. Wait, I want to see Dragon here. Drake. No, I don't think he's ever drawn Dragon as a kid, then. Has he? Here, let's look it up here, then. Has he... No, just this one. Right, this doesn't even look like Luffy. Yeah, that's what I said. Emmy, I don't know if it... Here, while I munch on stuff, let me just play this video. Continuing the theory that Dragon has innate air control rather than a wind devil fruit. Keep in mind, this is OG Parvision. This isn't your typical, this isn't the current quality, so.
So, continuing the theory that Dragon has innate air control rather than a wind devil fruit, honestly I'm still iffy on this idea. Maybe we'll learn about a group of people that have innate air control later on, but I definitely think there might be a group with air control for a weird reason. It's because of the different element dials that we saw in Skypiea. I think those dials are actually important in the sense they kind of feel similar to devil fruits, a sea-based creation that provides superhuman powers. But anyways, Skypiea is kind of a central focus of this video. Dragon and Skypiea? Why does that matter? But some of you might know where I'm going with this. I think Dragon has a hard connection to Skypiea. Starting off with the obvious, Dragon's tattoos. Tattoos aren't all that common in One Piece, in that when they're shown, it's emphasized. Outside of that, the only group of people that have tattoos that we've seen is the Shandians on Skypiea. Their tattoos share similar color scheme and style to Dragon. But who else? Nola, the dragon-like god and named Master of the Sky. Look at the tattoo markings on the side of Nola. Also, Dragon low-key looks like he is Shandian, with his hairstyle on top of his tattoos. If Dragon was from there, he'd probably have wings though, but we wouldn't know since he's always been cloaked. Or maybe he isn't from there, but he got his tattoos from being accepted by the Shandians. I had this idea that maybe Luffy's mom was Shandian, and that Aizo is low-key Luffy's like half-sister or cousin, especially since she had a high affinity.
I want to pause here. I mean, I get Oda has like a set style in drawing people. Was I the only one that kind of felt like there was like a brother-sister thing when I was drawing, or when we were watching this? Because I felt like there was some kind of lost long sibling connection here.
For hearing the voice of all things, like Luffy. But nah, all of those feel a little soft. I was reaching for the Skypiea arc because it felt really important, and honestly, when in the recent manga they talked about Nika, the sun god, and showed the image, I immediately thought of the Skypiea celebration. I think it was because Oda recently said that it was one of his favorite.
Yeah. Was this... Did Oda already say it? Yeah, I mean, he said it, but I didn't see it. I don't know why. That's crazy.
Panels to ever draw. Then, when I reread the surrounding chapters, I saw this. Who is that? Isn't that Garp? Nope. This is Garp. That's the Shandia chief. Garp used to wear a dog hat over his head, apparently to hide his identity from Luffy. But is it a coincidence that Shandoran leaders also wore canine hats over their heads? Also, this might be a stretch, but if Garp were a Shandoran warrior and had the signature eye tattoos of Shandian warrior, then maybe to hide his past, he cut it off. And then there was another detail that seemed kind of wild, but Garp originally used a signature weapon of a giant cannonball on a chain, and that was also a weapon of choice for Kalgara, the ancient Shandoran warrior. It's interesting that we never got the current Shandian's chief's name, and apparently he is the only person on a Vivre card ever to not be named. What if
that's wild, right? Tell me that's not wild. That we have all the Vivre cards of people, and he's the only person Oda included but didn't name. That's wild. That has to mean something, right? I don't know if it's gonna be relevant again, but like it's like if we find out his name and then we just learn so many things, right? That's just like to me in this video so far, that's probably one of the craziest parts. Where it's like, we get his name and then we just find all the dots are connected. Like, is that dangerous, Oda, that you couldn't tell us his goddamn name?
Garp was like his little brother, or maybe even his son.
Correction. Garp is older. I realized that after. It didn't make sense though. This guy looks older, but you know, the rest could still be plausible of some kind of relationship.
Shandian chief didn't have kids, which is where possibly Luffy's family tree fits in. It would also make a lot of sense for Garp's acceptance of the state of the world, where he is happy that there's peace, even though he was upholding so many corrupt systems. If he came from Shandoro, where it was constant fighting and war, anything would be an improvement. In any case, I don't know how the wings work. Maybe you could just rip them off and they don't grow back, but having the Shandian lineage could explain the high affinity for the forms of Haki and the voice of all things. Also, the mysteries behind the Shandian race, which originated on the moon, could be an explanation for how Dragon gained an affinity with elements. If black-winged Lunarians have affinity for fire, maybe the white-winged Shandians have an affinity for wind. One Piece has now connected so many parts of the show and powers to the moon. The Minks are empowered by the moon. Lunarian's name is Lunar. The Sky Island remnants are descendants from the moon. The moon controls the ocean and water. There's definitely a mystery that's unwinding, some kind of secret thread that connects all of these factions, including Wano and the Giants, and everything else.
What a video. What a video.
So I'm finally talking about...
Oh god.
Vegapunk, the other mysterious character in One Piece. There's so much to talk about. The two main...
Whoa, wait, what did I just do there?
So I'm finally talking about Vegapunk, the other...
Okay, Eam, Joy Boy, Sunga. Wow! Wow! This is crazy! Wait, hold on. Listen to what I just said. This was October 14th. October 14th, 2021.
So I'm finally talking about Vegapunk, the other mysterious character in One Piece.
I just think it's crazy that, like I said, the other mysterious character.
There's so much to talk about. So I'm finally talking about Vegapunk, the other.
Like, it's crazy because we now know what Nika is. It's like how many months after? Like, just within. I mean, it's actually not that crazy, but it's like 6 months later we find out about Nika. But we don't know about Vegapunk. Oh my goodness, we know about Nika before Vegapunk, and we're like learning about Joy Boy so much. I don't know. When I was hearing that, I was like, damn, like it's kind of crazy that that it's not like like I just said, like the other mysterious character. It's not a mystery anymore. Any thoughts on the Shandians being in the Blue Sea while the others were on the White Sea? Curious why each tribe settled on different altitudes. I discovered something, Matt Cypher. So you remember how I have the shadow video? You know the shadow video. It's really crazy, but towards the end, there's something I was like working on translation wise, and I talked to Artur, and he kind of shared some things, and I didn't flesh out my thoughts on it because like I don't know what Artur is gonna do with it, and if he goes with it, then it'll be like his idea, not my idea. But I'm pretty sure our conversation, he probably understood what I was going with it was, but like all I'm gonna say, okay, this is what I'm gonna say. I'll say the White Sea is crazy. That's what I'll say. And now this Shadows video might have a part 2. And Blackbeard might be Whitebeard. No, I'm just joking. Okay. That kind of sounded crazy. I'm not gonna say anymore. But Blackbeard might be Whitebeard. That'd be kind of wild, right? But like, ooh, might be kind of interesting. Okay. I'm not gonna say anymore because you don't understand what I mean by that. So it just makes no sense. You should make a collab with him and explain. He doesn't really do collabs, but I brought it up. He didn't. I don't think he likes to confirm things or whatever. So I'm just glad that we can talk. But what were we talking about? Here, I need to go get my dinner in a little bit. I'm just gonna get my wraps. Finding the White Sea explains a lot about the Sea Stone and the Blue Sea. And apparently the White Sea is a derivative of volcanoes, right? Because it absorbed the... So there's so many theories here. I'm not going to talk about that one. Here, while I'm gone, though, I just want to play this in my headset.
Character in
so I'll be right back.
There's so much to talk about. The two main topics that I want to get to are, 1, what is Vegapunk's goal? And 2, is he powerful? Does he have any powers? I think I want to start with the Vegapunk power theory first. So the first thing is, what do we know about Vegapunk? The scientists behind the SSG and the Pacifistas, he is able to create artificial devil fruits that I'm guessing don't have side effects like Caesar's smiles. I'm guessing this because Vegapunk considered his Kaido copied fruit to be a failure, but so far there's been no real defects besides the appearance of the fruits. Whereas Caesar's fruits look very different, and a handful of them cause uncontrollable laughter as a side effect. But we don't really know if more of Vegapunk's devil fruits had the same effect. He also recreated Kizaru's lasers in the Pacifistas, so he can recreate devil fruits and their powers. He has learned unique ways to use Sea Stone, and not to mention the lineage factors research with the Mads team that includes Vince Smoke Judge and Queen. In a lot of ways, Vegapunk has created many problems for the Straw Hats without ever even appearing. That is the power of his knowledge. We learn more about him when Frankie gets bounced to his homeland, where we find out he's been a genius since birth pretty much. And he wanted to help the people of the land survive the harsh, cold climate. It seems like Vegapunk had many more plans in store, but lacked the funding, which is why he probably partners with the world government because they apparently have no lack of funds. A major question I have is what makes Vegapunk less of a threat than Ohara? Like, Vegapunk has been poised to be the highest level of genius in One Piece, yet Ohara was eradicated for being smart and seeking out the language to decide, which is why he probably partners with the world government because they apparently have no lack of funds. A major question I have is what makes Vegapunk less of a threat than Ohara? Like, Vegapunk has been poised to be the highest level of genius in One Piece, yet Ohara was eradicated for being smart and seeking out the language to decipher the poem.
The other reason why I'm rewatching this also is not just like to fill up time, but it's because I want to make a refresh to a lot of my old videos. It's mainly the elemental hockey ones. A lot of people have been bringing it up, and there's so many things I can refresh on it. But there was something in this one that I remember, but I don't remember. I want to just hear it.
Poneglyphs. Well, if Vegapunk is so smart and has the freedom it sounds like he does, then if he doesn't already know the secret of the Poneglyphs, then it feels like he could easily find out. So either Vegapunk is allowed to know, and there's some kind of difference between Ohara and Vegapunk that allows him to live, or maybe Vegapunk is somehow restricted from learning the knowledge. Vegapunk could also be geniusly hiding his knowledge, and it's being overlooked with his successful creations. This juxtaposition between the two entities makes Vegapunk's character so interesting. We know a little bit of his backstory on Karakuri Island, and specifically future country Baltimore. In the story there, it seems like the grandfather there personally knew Vegapunk as a child, and the tremendous scientific feats completed by Vegapunk, including creating a cyborg animal workforce.
Yeah, so, I was trying to find this on my last stream. Why didn't I just rewatch my video? God damn. The grandpa knew of Vegapunk as a kid, so it doesn't make sense that Vegapunk's this like ancient person, super old. People in my last stream was trying to say that Vegapunk's like from the Void Century or some shit, or like super old, but the fact that the grandpa knows of him, I don't think that makes sense.
Which interestingly ties to Wano, but also to create a geothermal power plant that heats up the entire country. From this story, it seems like Vegapunk is a benevolent inventor working for the benefit of humanity, which contradicts his role with the world government. Someone as smart as him has to see that his contributions are creating an overwhelmingly oppressive force. So is Vegapunk actually an evil mastermind, or is he someone good that's working on a way more important project that he is able to overlook the power-ups he is providing to the oppressive world government? Okay, after going over some of the things that we know about Vegapunk...
Wait a moment. Wait a moment. Karakuri Island? I can't believe this never crossed my mind. He made the entire town into internal cyborgs, and they've all been living there 800 years. Just kidding. Nah, I don't think so. Because the robot had a kid, right? So here's a thought about the smile fruits. What if every smile fruit works, but the user needs to be able to use the ability, otherwise you only get the side effects? I'm not sure about that. But because then that would mean that all the people that have the side effects, they just need to use the power and then they won't have the side effects? Because I don't think that would make sense for the story. Yeah, so what I realized was that Dr. Tsukimi, first of all, this might be a Vegapunk's ancestor, first of all. Second of all, he was on Karakuri Island. So, this... Oh my goodness, wait, I just got the insane support for my. Oh my. Wait. Okay, so because in Tsukimi's thing, look at him. That's not. This isn't a winter island, right? Like. All right, no, I gotta see this. I gotta see. I gotta. Huh. Mm-mm. 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 Okay, here we go. Oh, damn. Hold on. I'm not sure what that is, actually. It looks kind of like an airplane, but it's a little oblong. Coco, that the face might be Vars. That might be why Jinbei's face is there. Okay. Okay, so this is important, right? Obviously. The fuck is that? Let me look at this with fresh eyes. Why do anything stand out to me? Isn't this a celestial dragon armor? I'm convinced this is what Vegapunk looks like. Wait! What if this is Vegapunk? Give me a second, guys. Kreia is part of Rocks, possibly. Captain Jack looks exactly like her. Serpent turned human. It's not Jinbei's face, it's Sun God Nika's. I don't think it's Sun God Nika's face. I definitely think that looks way more like Jinbei. Fisherman Karate. But my reasoning is because Vars. If they revered Vars, and Vars already looks like Jinbei, it'd be really interesting. What chapter was this? 688? 664. So this is the image that I want to see. This one. We don't even see this dude's ears. I mean, in general, these things are interesting, right? Oh, that thing could be Vegapunk. Alright, but like, this is interesting. I never looked at it like this. The one of him working on Kuma? No, we don't see any of his head in the Kuma picture. We see zero of his head in the manga. Or in the anime. His head is completely gone. And then it's interesting because his hands are there. Yeah, we see his clothes. But clothes can change, right? Like... But then again, if this is the style that Oda gave this character, it doesn't make sense for it to be... Yes, Matt Cypher, I do. It's in the video. It's toward the end of it, it's like... It's talking about the title of it, Vegapunk's eye-opening secret. I was teasing the point of the video, but the it talks about how it's important to have voice of all things with things yeah, I think Nightbot just hates Emiadot. Yeah, we can actually finish watching this video in a second, but what I wanted to point out was that look at this. This is Karakuri Island. This is Karakuri Island. That is Karakuri Island. Tsukimi was on Karakuri Island. See? Born that day on Karakuri Island. So Tsukimi might be... Like, the factories that we see aren't just Vegapunks. They could be Tsukimi. Like, look how advanced this already looks. So, and what's important is this. This is not a winter island. That's not a winter island, but that's supposed to be Karakuri. There are more pictures. So Tsukimi was there pre-Void Century, it seems like. When was Tsukimi from? It had to be a long time ago, right? Do we know? But that's crazy, right? That this is a winter island now. Yeah, it's a winter island. Wait, look at the little minion. When he doesn't have a face, it looks like Frankie when he got blown up. Ha, yeah, it does. It do be looking like him. Shanks was chilling on this island? Yuki Ryu. Oh my god. Yuki Ryu. Snow Dragon. Got it. You translated as Snow Dragon. Interesting. Winter Island. Interesting. Okay. What if the punk in Vegapunk means he's related to Kid? Yes. I think I talk about that in one of my videos. The chapter where Kid pulls out Punk the railgun. Specifically the wording Punku. I forgot why that was important. I talk about it a little bit. Oh, I didn't make the video about the Vegapunk thing. Oh, maybe I should now. Ooh, I'm getting some solid things. Like, I could bring up Tsukimi, some more things about Vegapunk. Ooh. Yes, this is the island where he meets Ace for the first time. I have the script with the Punku. I think I talk about it in that video, but I don't go into detail. Punku. Why was that important? I'm trying to remember. I remember splitting up Vega and then Punk. I'll remember it later. Yeah, Punk Gibson. Yeah. So it's the same like Panku, Panku. I forget why I was splitting it up. Look up my message. Funny, most of them about Vegapunk is on Punk Hazard. What is Punk Hazard? Yeah. No, that's what I was talking about. So basically the script was just going through all of the things. Some good question you could raise would be, are the creatures on the moon Vegapunk's creations? Same clock device? Or is the knowledge from the moon ended up on Vegapunk's hand? I think it's that way, right? Like, I don't think that's Vegapunk, because Vegapunk is recent. Tsukimi predates Vegapunk 100%. And the automata went up there. And Enel's there and he sees the automata. Wait a moment. They're born that day. Where's the timeline of this? All I know is that Karakuri Island's not frozen. So why is it frozen now? And apparently ever since Vegapunk's been there, it's frozen. His whole childhood is about bringing it out of being frozen. So that means before that, it wasn't frozen. Which means Tsukimi was way before that. First of all these automata. Okay. Yes. There was a bunch of automata. These automata, the Skypian automata. Ah, my God, it's so confusing. I just realized, like, wait, are these automata and Tsukimi's automata the same automata? No, because his automata flew up to the moon. They saw an explosion. Wow, this is confusing. Yeah, Vegapunk should be pretty old, but he's not ancient. Like this, the conversation here where it's like the knowledge from the moon, right? Like this can't be Vegapunk's tech. None of this can be. Because this is the ancient city. And these things can't be Vegapunk's tech. Because they're like a space pirates. And then again, like, these things went up. Like, this explosion was there, right? Like, this all has to predate, like, Vegapunk. There's no... Tsukimi and Vegapunk can't be contemporaries, if that makes sense. The thing is, Emida, I don't know the timeline. All I know is that this Tsukimi has to predate Vegapunk. Because, look, Karakuri Island is not frozen. This is Karakuri Island now. What if Vegapunk tried to extract Aokiji's freezing powers but accidentally created a permanent winter island? No, because he was born and it was already a problem. Like what the guy explained, right? Where's the pictures? Where's the picture? Oh, it's in my thing. Right here.
The tremendous scientific feats completed by Vegapunk Force, which interesting.
What chapter is this from? That's a cover story. What chapter is... Five 592-595. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Let me... The explosion is Enel's ship, is it not? Wait. No. Enel's not here. This is a flashback. This is a flashback. Yeah, this is a flashback. This is way before Enel, for sure. We don't know what that explosion was. Also because Tsukimi died, then the automata go up, and then this God's judgment, right? All of this, that happens. So there's no way that the explosion is Enel. This might be the destruction of... No, that doesn't make sense either. Like, we see the doctor die, then the robots travel to the moon, but what if the explosion on the moon affected the planet in a way that caused this death? No, I think he died because he was just like... He choked. He choked on the dumpling, according to Oda. Do you think the explosion of the moon caused an ecological change to the island? Oh! Possible. That's not where I'm going with this, but that, you know, that is an interesting point, right? Like, changing the moon could affect the rest of the stuff, right? But I wanted to... Oh, I'm here. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second to Karakuri Island. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Shashalab. His reigns are... This is where Vegapunk spent his childhood. It's filled with his memories. Take a look at that mountain. See how strangely shaped it is? When he did that when he was just a child. So they knew Vegapunk as a child. This grandpa... So Vegapunk has to be younger than this grandpa. So grandpa is not him. Not that. Wait, we should probably be able to figure out who his grandpa is from this. Grandfather. Oh, we don't say. It doesn't say. But his he has to be younger than the grandfather, 100%. And the way he sounds like it says Vegapunk did that when he was just a child. So then, like, it almost makes it seem like this grandpa was an adult when he saw Vegapunk do this. He worked really hard on it using wild animals for labor, but to this day it remains unfinished. What is that thing? It's a geothermal system for heating the entire island. Demolus, what's up? But he was always plagued by the same problems. He had the completed blueprint in his head. He outstripped. We're still awaiting his return, so please don't go into the blah 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 blah. Let me see. Okay. Where was my brain going with this? Yeah, wait, it's hard to know when the timeline of this is. But I never really realized how weird this is. Isn't this weird that he made an automata? Or, oh, what if he didn't make the automata? He just knew how to fix them. And the automata are originally from the moon. Right? Because this is the ancient city, so they're Birkin. We see the Birkins making them, and then we know, or not the people of the ancient moon, they come down to Earth, but it seems like they leave the automata there. But these are Tsukimi's automata. Wait a moment. Wait, hold on. Wait, guys. Wait, I'm so stupid. This is hilarious. We were just talking how what? This is Sun God Nika's spear, right? We were just talking about this. Right? Like, oh, wow, this is Nika's spear, right? Look at what the automata are holding. Hello? That's the spear, right? The spears, yeah. So but my point being, Sun God Nika having the same spear as the automata, that's kind of sus. Okay, why the automata flew to the moon for revenge. Right? Let's go to the moon. I think they wanted for revenge, because to them, I think it was the moon explosion killed Tsukimi. And so what they wanted to do was go to the moon. So yeah, avenging the professor, there are times when a man has to do what a man has to do. So they were defeated. The space pirates were too strong. And then sometime later, we don't know how much later, right? Because the automata were out cold in this hole. They were out cold here, and Enel revived it. Like this is from, so the story loops back, right? The space pirates are still here. There's a huge explosion. This could be centuries ago. Yeah, we don't know because the Automata were out cold and Enel just revived them. Apparently the moon people and Skypian use the same spears. Do they? Oda's really good at getting us this. Yo, Oda's out of pocket for making this. Like, you know? I find it interesting that balloons can hold a lot of weight. Balloons can lift up the Automata to the... Yeah. 100%. The balloon thing is really interesting. That's why in the video when we saw the sky lanterns in Onigashi or Wano, that's why I was saying, like, oh, it would be crazy if those held up the island, because when we first introduced to Kaido, he jumped off of a island held by balloons, and Oda said that the balloons, those balloons holding up Balloon Terminal, were balloons that had enough willpower that when they were let go, they didn't pop, and they all congregated to the same place because they shared the same will of not... They were so strong... These balloons are so strong-willed that they stuck together and held up this island. Skypians did come from the moon after all. Yes. The panels are so much like the unknown. Yo, Nightbot hates Emi and Dot. So the Lunarians are the only ones where we don't... So that's why I keep on saying the lunar part of their name is really suspect. Because they might not be from the moon. Because these are apparently the three races, right? Like right here where it's like this is like the Birkin wings, and there's Skypiea. There was like the Shandorians, the Birkins, Shandorians, and something else, right? The Skypians had the little wings. Yeah, and Enel not having wings is really interesting. Yeah, the Sky Lanterns contributing in helping Momo create those things. It's really interesting. Hey, the graffiti have the same headgear as the Sandorian chief. Yep. They do. They do. Okay, so if we can say that Tsukimi is old, ancient old, like possibly Void Century old. I say Void Century old because I would imagine if people in the modern time saw an explosion on the moon like Tsukimi did, we would have heard about that. Like somewhere, right? Like somewhere they'd be like, oh, like, you know, some island would have some kind of history of like, hey, don't anger the gods, the moon will explode. Some shit like that, right? So, and it's never happened since. Oh no, that's debunked because Enel was there. There was a giant explosion and nobody saw it. But then again, this explosion is way different, right? Like that's a huge explosion versus what Enel saw. This. I don't know. So Tsukimi has to be a long time ago. So now my point is, this is Karakuri Island. Whenever Tsukimi was there, he's before Vegapunk. Vegapunk was a kid, and before Vegapunk was a kid, the island was already a frozen mess. Okay, so that means something happened in between Tsukimi and Vegapunk that made Karakuri Island look like this. And not just that, it turned into a winter island, which is really interesting. Now, here's another interesting detail that I keep on thinking about is this is Japanese style architecture. Tsukimi is related to like Moon, is it not? So like Wano has a huge history with the moon. So then is there a world where like that's Wano? Yes, Emiada, I do plan on streaming after. If 1047 drops on Thursday night, I should be on. If Friday, I'll be streaming after I post my video. See ya. Thanks for coming through. Okay, and so this is where my theory. Remember earlier, if you guys are here from the beginning of the stream, I was saying I'm really interested in ice worlds, ice, and I was mentioning Aokiji and Brook, and check your post above Emmy. If anyone shows up after Wano, it would make sense that he's on his home Karakuri. And used to look like Wano. Oh yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Like it's an interesting character. I don't know if it's like it's weird. It's weird because Vegapunk grew up on Karakuri Island. And the Karakuri that he went with is this ice island that doesn't look anything like Wano. What was I saying about Brook? It was just the ice powers, right? Like they're connected to this, like the underworld thing. And so we were talking about like Norse mythology earlier with the giant snake, the serpent thingy. But what I was interested in was Niflheim. Niflheim is hell with one L referencing like the same hell that we know? That's the sister, right? Okay. Odin further tells Gylfi that it was when the ice of Niflheim met the flames of Muspelheim. Apologies for the pronunciations. That creation began, and Ymir was formed. What if all the brooks used to look like Wano and Oda's just saying the other islands evolved since they weren't isolated like Wano? Then we'd see a lot more connections of all the islands to Wano, but we don't really see that. Oh, my stream's lagging again? What? Wait, why now? Close out. Okay. Oh, I see. It's because I have like 400 tabs open, guys. I'll be transparent about it. It's because I have that many tabs just like out here. Alright, we should be good then. Closing that stuff up. This is definitely going to be talked about more when we get to Elbaf. Yes. Maybe I should make an Elbaf video. I'm trying to figure out I'm not the best with Norse mythology. I know Greek mythology a lot more. In Norse mythology, I should learn. Okay. I won't tell you the reason why I'm thinking this, but what I will say. Remember the Great Flooding thing that I was talking about? Like all the Rogers pirates are preparing for a flooding, and then there's the Noah. There had to be some kind of flood involved, right? Now, the other thing that is possible I guess two words. An ice age. That might be something. And then also I'm trying to figure out, I don't want to spoil it, but like you know how even in Norse mythology, this is why I was thinking about it. They call it like realms, right? Like this is the upper realm, and then this is the lower realm kind of thingy. And in One Piece, right? There was the Celestial Dragons, the Red Line. That's the upper realm, and everything below that is the lower realm, right? And I'm just interested in like maybe because now it doesn't even seem like there's that much of a difference. But what if back in the day the lower realm was all frozen? Now, I have a theory that could explain a way that the whole world was frozen. But Oda also gives a different thing too, where rather than just being frozen, it's just tumultuous, but I'm starting to think. All realms are connected through Yggdrasil. So, okay, here. Okay. So before I end the stream, because I'm not gonna end just yet. What I'm gonna do is I want to talk about my script so that I can like get motivated and finish it. But since I mentioned this idea, because I've been thinking about it, and it's also related to a current video that I want to make. Do any of you guys think it's weird that okay, this is related to Fishman. Fishman Island is located directly below what's it called? Mer Joie, right? And the reason why it's there is because the sunlight reaches there through the roots of the tree, right? I don't think the laws of meteorology apply to the world of One Piece. It may or may not, considering that Oda did include the Coriolis effect of like the calm belt, where the calm belt is actually like geographically it makes sense because our Earth has a calm belt. It's just a lot smaller because our Earth is a lot smaller. But yeah, within 5 degrees of the equator, on both sides, no storms can like they just bounce off. So there can be storms, but it's super rare, and it's considered the calm belt ish type of thing. And that's the inspiration of our calm belt. But Oda does talk about meteorology a lot, not a lot, but in the SBS in regards to the sun and moon. And this is my Sanji video actually, where he was basically saying that like there's like a balance, and so with if you were to remove this, everything's in cycles and in circles. So if you were to stop a circle, there would be so much chaos and destruction. And okay, so on the moon thing, right? It's not been confirmed that there are 6 moons on our thing, but the Ohara, we don't know if that was a past, like, or the scaling of that, like what the orbit was, because also they had like an Earth-centric kind of view where it's like that was very similar to the olden days of like our world where we had an Earth-centric view rather than a solar-centric view. But so that being said, like we haven't seen multiple moons ever in the series, I don't believe. So I don't think, if we haven't seen multiple moons, I don't think it makes sense that to necessarily say that there are 6 moons. But I understand the Ohara, like they showed all those things, and it's to me it's more of a question like what happened to those moons, where are those, what happened. One of the moons was on a collision course towards the Earth also, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so the weather also I think is related to the magnetic fields. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Wait, what? Hold on. Why didn't that go through? Okay, hold on 1 second. Dang, I just scrolled onto a Crocus quote. I'm afraid reality is even crueler than friction. Not friction, fiction. Wow, friction. I thought maybe it was Vivi who explained it. I know we got a few more explanations about the sea as we went through. I thought it was related to the magnetic zones. I remember saying that, but to be true, the magnetic fields on One Piece are messed up, having more than 2 polar zones. Well, so that's where Coco, the why Kid's fruit is so important to me, because now that we know his awakening can assign magnetic fields, who's to say that the originator of that fruit wasn't the person that assigned all of the islands specific magnetic polarities? Because that's very plausible. Or just, you know, mineral rich, right? Like it's just like really interesting on how Wano has all the sea stone or something like that, you know? Oh damn, maybe it's an ancient weapon related thing. Like he's just some moon's just a thought. Yeah. So I want to believe Uranus is a moon or arc maxim. I have an idea about the Uranus. That's not Vivi. I mean, it is Vivi, but it's also not Vivi. I'm almost thinking Blackbeard could be it, but that's a stretch topic. What did I want to talk about that I want to finish before? Oh. So the question is, Fishman Island. Isn't it weird, right? Fishmen aren't allowed on the surface, but yeah, let's pull up Fishman Island. Let me see what it says on the wiki. Fishman Island. Sunlight Tree Eve is a colossal tree that absorbs sunlight and transfers it to its root. Blah, blah, blah. Right? But what's interesting to me, thinks sea stone is a diamond equivalent of salt. Yeah, probably. I still want to believe. Oh no. So Fishman Island, right? Isn't it weird to you guys that, yes, I understand the sunlight part that Fishman Island specifically has, but why aren't there other settlements outside of here where they don't have to be underneath the red line? Doesn't that, like, you're telling me that this is the only place in the entire system of One Piece, all the oceans, they could have went to the East Blue, any of the blues, and settled into, like, not as deep water, right? Like, they could have went anywhere. Like, fishermen can survive underwater. The thing about Fishman Island that's really interesting to me is, like, why this is the only spot that they choose to stay in. That's so weird, right? Like, in all, like, we have no inkling of anywhere else that fishermen are settled, villages, whatever, no history, anything. I like to think that's a capital, but, like, maybe the tree only exists there. Are Sea Kings the issue? No, why would the Sea Kings be the issue? Like, you're telling me, like outside of Dawn Island, right, with the Sea King, right, with the Lord of the Coast, that thing is fodder to the fishmen. Like, that thing wouldn't do shit to them. Like you get Arlong. Arlong would probably be able to deal with that, right? Like, maybe that's excessive, but, like, you get what I mean, right? Like this is the One Piece globe. world map. This is the One Piece world, right? Look at all this blue. Look at all this. They choose what, right here? Underneath this spot? That's sus, is it not? They could be anywhere, anywhere. Like Arlong is weird in the first place. Like he doesn't need to be on an island. Like it's just interesting to me that, like, first of all, like, yes, ships, but like, why don't they have submarines? But they don't even need submarines. Hopefully that works. That's what it takes me to. So my thinking, right? My thinking is that there was something that prevented the fishmen, lack of sunlight anywhere else at that depth, and the security gives, I think it's the safest place for them. So yes, sure, it's the safest place for them. But like, again, I'm not saying they have to be all the way underneath. They could be on every single island, just like in the shallow areas. Right? Like it's just interesting to me that that's the only spot. Like, how many other like crazy phenomena are there across the world that we see, and it's like, do fishermen have to be just there? And like this whole bubble tech, like they could create more bubbles. And my point is, it's like, is this the more likely to be kidnapped? But the thing is, if the what's it called, the pirates have to go down there, right? Like, they're getting kidnapped because this is, like, you understand the irony of what you're saying, right? This is the worst place to be, because all the pirates have to go through here to cross into the next world. This is literally like one of the, like, yes, I get it, it's important because the sunlight is there, but it's also not the most convenient place too, because all the people have to go through there. It would make sense for there to be other places, and not just like in the context of modern time. Like, what, in the last 800 years they never like went outside? You know what I mean? Like, we have people from the moon that came down and split into 3 different colonies, right? Like, if fishmen should, I mean, in general, that's what the humans did too. They split amongst all these different islands, right? Fishmen are the only ones that didn't. Well, minks too, but like, minks is kind of an interesting thing, like, because they were just on an elephant. I don't know what's going on this elephant. We don't even know if there's more than one Zunisha, but it doesn't seem like it. But it's like weird, right? The minks isn't a side note, right? So what I'm thinking is, like, maybe there was a reason that fishmen could only be there, and that reason would have to do with something that the protection of the red line provides, but also the sunlight that it provides. So everywhere else there's no sunlight, right, necessarily, and even the shallow waters. But that's where I was thinking, like, maybe the whole sea was frozen, all of it was frozen. And I have a theory as to how that would make sense. And that would change a lot of things. But that also connect to the Niflheim thing. And another thing that I was thinking about was Oars being the continent puller is really interesting. Because, like, yeah, Ore could swim, but, like, wouldn't it be easier if everything was frozen? And then on top of that, we found Ores was found in the poles. He was found in the North Pole, I'm pretty sure. Moria found him in one of the poles. Frozen. Now, an ice age is a really important thing to, like, our world's context. Maybe it's really important to, like, this world's context. Where people were forced to live in certain areas. Earth is essentially hell at one point. Yes. And that would explain if you were down here, right, in these bubbles of ice, that would be why it's called the lower realm, or Nilfheim, right? That would be hell. And on top of that would be the land of the gods, right? So then you got to ask yourself, okay, so if it was all ice, what's going on top? How would that facilitate? And I got an idea, and I'll explain it later, because I don't want to drop the thing, because it's like a main part of the video now. But like, I think this video will have two parts now. One part is the shadows thing, and the other part is historical implications of what we learned recently. But yeah, so that's where I was kind of thinking, like, this is a really interesting thing, because, like, to me, I was just thinking about it. I was just like there's like the flooding, right? That's definitely something that I think makes sense. But then when I thought about, like, Fishman Island, I was just like, wait a second, like if the world was flooded, that would benefit them a lot, right? Because then every place would be theirs. Yeah, and the next place being, you know, Shanks, Elbaf, Norse mythology. So I think it would make sense if Norse mythology played a huge role in what we learn next. And if what we learn next after Sun God Nika is this, like, you know, Void Century stuff, pre-Void Century stuff, I think it would make sense. I guess that's the more or less hint, where it's like the videos are related to the Void Century. But anyways, okay, so now let's see what the stream looks like right now. It looks like that's a cool world. That's a cool place to leave it on, right? Okay, so let's talk about my latest script, because maybe talking to you guys will help me, not help me, like, write it, but more so, like, I just kind of, like, derped. I want to make these other videos, but I just, like, motivation wise, I just need to get excited about One Piece. Like, I'm feeling like I'm gonna hop off of this and then just, like, go to sleep, but I also just want to write it, but I also don't. I just want to sleep. Probably I'll just sleep. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what actually happens. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Maybe the big secret is the Celestial Dragons flooded the world to erase history. Yes. Okay. Yes, that might be the Great Cleansing. But you got to ask yourself how. And what was the process of things? See, one of the important things is that Fishman Island is 20,000 meters below sea level. Sky Island is 20,000 kilometers or miles, whatever. Kilometers, I think it's kilometers, above and in line with the red line, I'm pretty sure. It's interesting that there's an even thing there, right? Now, what's interesting is that the White Sea is apparently, it absorbed the moisture. So Who's to say that the White Sea, these cloud islands, weren't just giant sponges? So if you wanted to flood the world, maybe emptying out the White Sea could be what happened. Look at the map. There are 2 bowls of water surrounded by a mountain ring. Melt the snow at the top of the mountain, flood the world. Yup. Rains for years, Demolus. That would be Noah, right? That would be the Noah story. And who do we know? And the Gorosei, they want to do the Great Cleansing. And where are they going after they said that? Alabasta. And who do we know has... besides Dragon, right? But Dragon, we were shown like him showing up and rain happening. But Vivi cried, similar to Shirahoshi. And then they gave us all the panels, right? Of the wind going up. And then it rains. And the Gorosei and the world government going after Vivi. Im had Vivi's thing. They want the Great Cleansing. If the Great Cleansing is a flooding, then you need to make it rain. If you need to make it rain, you need to... I'm going to stop there. Yep, we know something messed up with Alabasta. That's the thing that keep bringing up Hidden Island stream, that One Piece stuff. I've been bringing up because people are forgetting. Vivi, man. Vivi is important. All right. So let's pause on this creation stuff. I think I got an idea. It's just like, you know what it is? It's like what ended up happening was like, let's say these are light bulbs in my head, right? So I had this light bulb with the shadow thing, and that led to another light bulb. And then what happened was I got this other light bulb, and this light bulb is so crazy, and this was so crazy, but this light is now like brighter than this light. But I still want to make these, but now that I know this, it's like I can't make this, but I want to tie it in. And I think I can, but it's a lot harder. So it became a lot harder. But I want to make these videos before this 1047 drops. So it's a little wonky. And but I think I gotta understand where I'm gonna go with this, because yeah, I just kinda have to do it. ADHD problems, yup. It has to be rain. The Sunshine Dragons could have ordered the escape to flood the world. Yoshi really has. She is way too under. Yeah, exactly. The thing about it, Coco, is that Nami's always been attuned to the weather, even before Skypiea, even before Weatheria. On Skypiea, actually, is where they were like, what? How does she know? Like, how is she this observant? And that's why I always say that I think Nami and Vivi were best friends for a reason. Like, if Vivi can control the weather, Nami can observe the weather, and it's like they're like a match made in heaven. They're like soulmates in a way. This is why you are my favorite streamer, YouTuber. Keep up the amazing work. Hey, thank you. That's why I'm here, fam. Just chilling, just talking. I just gotta get more. I gotta get these sponsorships. If I land these sponsorships, guys, all these videos that I'm like saying that I'm like just talking about here, they're gonna be made, like all of them. I just need to put in the work on getting the sponsorships. I'm talking to a few creators, working on some things, but that would go a long way to really like push me towards like the middle growth, mind-blowing stuff. And it's always different too, right, Demolus? Like, I've noticed you a lot more in the last like 2 weeks, and I feel like I've had no restraint on like saying some of the things. No, I've been restraining a lot actually, and it's still like new stuff every time. But that being said, let's talk about what I'm gonna my next video, like the video that I want to be out by tomorrow. If I'm able to get it out tomorrow, then I'll probably stream tomorrow. I think Nami had pre-time skip observation. Movie. Yes, possibly a weather-related voice of all things, like that kind of thing, where she could hear the weather. That like, the weather like talks to her, in a way. Like that's why I keep on saying like I think all the Straw Hats have like insane power. And Nami now getting Zeus, example of that, right? Yep, exactly, Matt Cypher, exactly. So the script that I want to talk about now has to do with awakenings. Let me read through some of this. So I guess the question that I'd be answering is like, we still don't know how Luffy's fruit awakened, right? Like we don't know, but I think I do know. But we don't know why Luffy's fruit awakened now, right? Why didn't it against Rob Lucci? He was on the verge of death against so many other people, Crocodile, Doflamingo a little bit, Katakuri even. Like there were so many times when Luffy was like on the verge of death, he never awakened Sun God Nika, right? And if the drums of liberation are his heart, like why hasn't his heart ever beat like this? Like what awakened that? We still don't really know. So this video is kind of answering that because I think I have a solid answer. And oh, that's actually where I should start this thing. Ooh, wow, already. Give me a second. I think Gear 4 has something to do with Awakening. Keep in mind, Luffy has had Gear 4 for the entire time skip. He's had it ever since Ruskaina. Just throwing that out there. He just never pushed to the point of needing it. So against Doflamingo and Katakuri, you know, believe that that's important to note, that that was there the entire time skip. If you guys see me typing, Pratam, what's up? If you guys see me typing, it's because the script thing. So I'm gonna like keep. This is why I streamed, was so that I could get into the mindset of finishing the script so I could get it out for tomorrow. Because I was just, not that I was having a brain block, I was just like not being able to finish it for whatever reason. I don't know. Like he looks most like Nika in form Gear 4 Snake Man. I missed the stream. Don't worry, fam. We're still here. So right now we're talking about awakenings. We talked about a lot. I would say the VOD is worth watching today. But the topic right now is awakenings. Why did Luffy's fruit awaken now versus before? And what are the conditions? So I'll be typing a little bit. So if you guys have questions or things that you guys are thinking about, feel free to type it, because once I'm done typing the section that I just thought about, then I'll come back into the chat, or I'll look into the chat periodically. It won't be too long. I just got to get this thought out. Mythical. The future power scaling or power potentials in One Piece. There's probably going to be more levels to Haki. Now mythical Zoans, even god fruits, also hidden fruits that are masquerading as other fruits. There's still so much left in One Piece in terms of potential, but one of the most important ones is awakenings. Now that we are being exposed to it like this in the current manga, we have to ask ourselves, will we see more awakenings, and how and why and from who? Okay, do you think the will of the fruit affects when you awaken? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So, actually, let me, this video will contain, current manga information up to chapter 1046. So if you are not caught up, save this for when you are. Okay. So I typed up the intro. I do like to believe each fruit chooses its owner. Yes. So the understanding, right, that Zoan fruits, according to the Gorosei, have their own will. That would make you think that just like swords, the fruits could also encourage their own their specific users. But even more than that, let's say Luffy ate Law's fruit, right? Law's fruit wouldn't mesh well with Luffy. You know what I mean? So it might be, and so like, how many Law's fruit's not a great one, because we already know that to access it you need to have medical knowledge, right? That is a requirement. Now the question is, like, why is that a requirement? You know what I mean? Like you could use it to the fullest in terms of like opening people up, but do you need the medical knowledge for the Eternal Youth Surgery? Why is that a restriction? You know what I mean? And so besides that, okay, let's talk about Caesar's gas fruit. Luffy wouldn't be great at it. He doesn't understand chemistry or gases or air or things like that. Luffy's it could be in space and thinks he's breathing air. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not a great match. And so what might happen is that if it's not a good match, the devil fruit might lock up its powers. Meaning, like, let's say you're Caesar and you're the gas fruit. Maybe you can only control certain gases because, like, you're not a great match. Maybe you need to have a good match to get the full capacity of a fruit. So, like, Ace's flare fruit, right? Like, he can also put out green flames. There was the Firefly attack where he had the green flames. And I was proposing that maybe he has other color flames. I think the Ace novel had his thing. He had green flames there too. And so my point there is, like, what if like Ace wasn't a good match? Maybe another person who ate the fruit, they wouldn't necessarily be able to access all the same things that Ace has, even before like an awakening type of situation. So so in that sense, like the fruit I think definitely does choose people, and there's each one might have its own test, similar to the Kitetsu did with Zoro and Enma did with Zoro. I do believe each do you mythical fruits awakening is harder than paramecia. That is a question we'll answer in this. Fruits must match. Each fruit wants to develop to max. That means it needs the right person. Yes, until the person dies, it just the next guy. Yes. What if someone else eats Luffy's fruit? I don't think it'll awaken. Yes. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this. Okay. So how do I start off this video? I start off talking about, like, well, first of all, the understanding is that Oda has said that that all devil fruits essentially are extracted lineage factors. Okay? So that means Sun God Nika had to have existed, and the devil fruit contains Nika's lineage factors. So that's an interesting thing, right? Because then it's a person who has a will, and then these are essentially just passed on wills, right? So that's really, really interesting. Now, in the middle, I might take this out, but like, it's an interesting thing because then we have right now in our world, right, Sun God Nika, right? We also have God Usopp. Like, if Usopp had enough will, could he turn into a devil fruit? And then what would his inherited will? You eat it, and then you want to be the bravest warrior on the sea, right? The bravest sea warrior, whatever situation, right? Is that the will that would be passed on if you ate God Usopp's fruit? Because that's what it sounds like, right? And then even more than that, right? Let's say, like, Zoro is now the king of hell. What if he turned into a devil fruit and he's now the king of hell? So would his fruit be the king of hell model? And then what would be the will that you'd get on? You eat the fruit, and then you'd end up wanting to be the greatest swordsman, right? So it's like a very interesting, like, situation, because now we have Usopp and Zoro, and they both have very strong wills. And so in the light, in paralleling it to Nika, is that the similar thing that we would see, where it's like, if Nika's thing is like, I want to be the freest person in the world, right? It was that the will, right? So then I tie it back here. Let me actually finish typing this part, because I just said some interesting things. Not believe my Okay, loving this. It would be scary. Lines, reality lies. Yeah, it'd be dope. There must be a tree or devil fruit that traps the will within a fruit. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like how it's created, right? And that'll be something to talk about in the future, right? But okay, so going back, right? Maybe it'll help if I just read this next part out loud. Okay, so what I wrote is, but okay, to the main topic. Back to the main topic. Devil fruits that could be more than what we originally thought. Oh, that's not the main topic anymore. Devil fruit awakenings is the main topic. I wrote this script for one thing, and then I completely rehashed it for something else. And so there's like some lines that were really interesting. But okay, any thoughts about Mother Caramel and the salsa fruit? What's interesting about Big Mom, and because I don't want to answer this in the sense that it's not super relevant to what I'm about to say, and you'll understand why in a second. But what I do want to say is that there is a connection in the sense of when Big Mom was, so we don't know, Big Mom's a human, a normal human, but her parents are like small, like normal, average people, but then she's a giant, right? And the weird thing is when she was destroying Elbaf, they called her the god of chaos and destruction. That's what she said. So it's a really interesting thing that, like, what if without a devil fruit, Big Mom was like this reincarnation of the god of destruction? Maybe even Earth. Possible. I don't think that there might be. Oh, Earth. Possibly. But anyways, okay, so let me read this now. But okay, back to the main topic. Devil Fruit Awakenings. I want to get this one out of the way. It's mainly because Alabasta is important in so many ways. Garb bringing it up after the last reveries. I'm holding Eam. Oh my god, Eam holding a picture of Vivi. By the way, when I write my script, I write it out, but when I record it, I end up like editing it while I'm saying it because like a lot of things I write isn't how I say it. So then that's why this will be a little awkward. But Vivi herself possibly being an ancient weapon, similar to Shirahoshi. Also, Alabasta on its own was supposed to have an ancient weapon there, and the Nefertiti dynasty was the only family of the original world government, but they chose to stay in the lower realm. And we were talking about the lower realm as the frozen thing, as celestial dragons referred to it, which is interesting. Alabasta being a desert, they would shoot. Oh my goodness! Wait a moment. This ice theory is going nuts in my brain now, because now it's not just Karakuri Island. Now it's Alabasta. Okay, we'll get back to it. Ooh, God. Okay. Alabasta also has a poneglyph that is possibly really important to the story of One Piece, but conveniently we don't know what the details are of it besides it talking about Pluton. All this being said, there's one more parallel from Alabasta to Wano, and that is the concept of guardian spirits. Yamato's dog fruit, mythical model Okuchi no Makami, or a specific Japanese gray wolf, that was a deity that protected humans. An interesting note is that apparently Kaido had to work hard to acquire Yamato's devil fruit, which is really interesting, right? But more than anything, it was claimed to be the guardian spirit of Wano, which is why, another side note, I don't think Yamato will join the Straw Hats. I can make a video about it, but it makes the most sense to me that Yamato stays on Wano with Momonosuke and protects Wano, given that she's probably the top 5 strongest people on Onigashima right now, and it makes sense that one of those people remain on Wano after it opens up. So if we're just talking about Luffy, Kaido, Yamato, Zoro, right? It's debatable who the 5th person is. Is the strongest King? King is probably the next strongest, right? None of those people are going to stay except for Yamato. Someone has to protect Yamato. It has to be one of the top strongest people, right? And so that is Yamato. So that's another reason why Yamato has to stay on Wano, because Wano needs to be protected, and one of the top 5 needs to stay, and that's Yamato. She's the guardian of Wano, and she's the best person to teach Momonosuke about the dragon fruit, because Momo's a kid still, and he needs to learn the dragon fruit, and she knows the dragon fruit because she's his daughter and battled him, Kaido, throughout her entire life, and she's literally coaching him now, so it makes the most sense. But that being said, that was a side note, that's not in the script. But just going back, the guardian spirit of Wano, that's really interesting because Alabasta had the same thing. Alabasta's guardian spirit was the Falcon, and to take us to chapter 208 titled Guardian Spirit, where Pell claims that he is the guardian spirit of Alabasta, the Falcon, and while doing so, sacrifices himself by carrying a massive bomb into the sky to detonate it in the air away from everyone. Now, this wasn't your normal explosion. This explosion looked like it could have engulfed the entire city that they were in. And the craziest part is that Pell survived, right? I know this is a stretch, but what if Pell had some kind of mythical power over fire? And that's why the explosion didn't just obliterate him. I mean, I was going to say maybe he is a phoenix instead of a falcon, but we have Marco, right? But again, I was fine with leaving Pell out of the list, but it's weird that while we were in Wano, Alabasta becomes relevant again. And they were the other place to have a guardian spirit within a devil fruit. And if we know anything about devil fruits now, it's that they were extracted lineage factors from actual people. So Nika and Yamato's wolf, Kaido's dragon, Pell's falcon, they were all real. So maybe Pell has awakened his falcon fruit because of the explosion. He should have died, and he didn't. Kind of similar to Luffy's situation, right? Luffy thought he died but didn't, and so Pell ended up like in a with a doctor randomly, and we saw the thing, and he was still alive. But anyways, this brings so now I'm just gonna continue reading. I'm gonna continue reading because this is actually beneficial for me, because I have 12, I think like 9 minutes of the script written, and I want to get to 12. Not just for time reasons, because there's a section I want to talk about, and there's just like a missing section, and now reading through it, I'm in the flow, which is great, because now after the stream I could just what's it called, record it, get working on it tomorrow, post it. But anyways, this brings us... Oh, now I feel bad. You guys are going to watch this video, and I'm reading the script verbatim. Hey, guys. Still watch my video when it comes out tomorrow. And there'll be new stuff, too. There'll be new stuff in it. But anyways, this brings us to a core premise of why there might be hidden fruits. The awakening factor of devil fruits. According to Kaido, awakening is what happens when your mind and body catch up to your powers. So to me, that sounds like your body has to hit certain requirements, but also your mind has to truly understand the powers gifted to the user. So that means there's a certain amount of synergy between the devil fruit and the user that has to be attained. And that's where an interesting concept also comes into play about how the devil fruit might impose its own tests on the user. It might also choose a user. Again, not too different than the cursed swords, in the sense of, like, if Zoro couldn't conquer Enma, then Zoro would have died, and Enma would have eventually found a new person that would hopefully be able to handle it. And if they couldn't, they would just die, and it would be continually passed on. It's cool. I watch your video plus is the uncut version. Yes, exactly. This is great. It's all connecting. By the way, are we sure Vivi has the weather control? The rain could have formed due to the bomb exploding. The panels just, it went, even in the anime, she screamed, and you know, like Conquerors almost, like it's the same thing as Shirahoshi. It's like you could see like the wind, and then they spiraled it up. It spiraled it up like kilometers above the thing, and then it all just rained down. So it seemed way too intentional, the way even in the manga and anime both demonstrated that. It feels awesome getting to hear this early. Yeah, the thing is, like, maybe on streams I could just run through some of the scripts that I just never talked about. That'd be fun. The other said it's the gum fruit had the will of its own. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Continuing, which brings us to another example that we have very little information about, is how much does a devil fruit influence or affect the mind of the user. Sabo is probably one of the best examples, because we did get an understanding of what he was like without a devil fruit. Then after he gets Ace's fruit, he ends up having some character changes that could amount to him being more hot-headed and not being able to back down from specific fights, like he should have done when he saw Kuma enslaved, but he didn't, and probably ended up in a similar situation as Ace, ironically. So then that brings us to Luffy's situation. Yes, maybe she is Uranus. Yep. I think I did leak that in one of my videos. Or was it on the stream? One or the other. Oh, yeah, no, it was in my video. I leaked it. Because it's part of my Conquerors Hockey and then Ancient Weapons video, which are... Like, you guys can't see the tabs right now. I could peep. Nah, I'm not gonna switch the thing. But I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different tabs. This is the tab that's killing me right now because it's like 20. Oh god, oh no, the stream's gonna lag. The stream's probably gonna lag. No, all right, so the stream is like, okay, it's fine. Okay, so let me continue reading this though. So that brings us to Luffy's situation. There's a lot of questions of whether the Luffy we know now is because of Sun God Nika's will influencing Luffy or not. My current understanding of it is that a devil fruit can pique the interest of certain people and grab their attention, like the Kitetsu did to Zoro, especially if there's a lot of synergy. So in Luffy's case, he probably had the compatibility to align with Nika's will, and on top of that, the power that Nika holds. I think that's a really important note when you think of being a rubber man. Yeah, the original understanding of it is that it's kind of a lame power, especially in comparison to something broken like the magma fruit or the ice fruit. But the other part of it is not just anyone could have this fruit or power and use it to the full potential. To properly utilize rubber to the full potential, you have to be willing to be hit. Do you know how big your balls have to be to face a gun? Like, even knowing it won't hurt you, that alone is pretty scary, right? Getting hit and taking damage is a core part of being a rubber man. So you have to accept that. You have to be a person that is brave enough to intentionally take damage. Not a lot of people are like that, right? Usopp would not be someone intentionally being able to take damage and putting himself in harm's way. So then the question, I didn't say that part, but so then the question is, did Luffy prove that to the fruit before consuming it? And I would argue, yes, Luffy did. For this, we have to go back to chapter 1. Do you remember how Luffy got the scar on his face? He wanted to prove to Shanks' crew that he was serious and he wanted to prove how tough he was. So he stabbed himself in the face. Shanks' crew was shocked as that was so idiotic, but nonetheless they took Luffy to Makino's bar and had a toast to Luffy's courage. Then Luffy says this pivotal line: "It didn't hurt a bit. I'm not the least bit afraid of getting hurt. Take me with you on your next voyage. I want to be a pirate too." Now this is powerful, and I think a significant thing is that the next panels all consist of Luffy making everyone smile by talking to them, which we know is core for Nika. And then the next thing we see, Luffy already grabs the fruit and starts chomping on it. So I'm imagining by this point, Luffy had demonstrated that he is willing to take damage and get hurt to be free and pursue his ideals. Like if Nika was conscious and watching this bar scene, I could imagine him having the commentary to his friends or peers or other gods like, "You see this kid? He's hilarious. He's perfect. I want him to be my user." So, and so the next part, it says, another important note is the character development has from start to end of this chapter. At the start, he wants to join Shanks so bad he stabbed himself. When he got kidnapped, he understood how much of a man Shanks truly was and understood why Shanks wouldn't take him out to sea. But by the end of it, despite recognizing how scary the pirate world is, he claims he is going to become a pirate of his own and he'll be better than Shanks and become the king of the pirates, right? Which is what won Shanks over. The reason why that is important is because it was established in this chapter and before that pirates always have a good time and pirates have freedom. So Nika being the warrior of liberation and basically a freedom fighter, this is where the wills coincide. So yeah, the ancient weapons were just titles, people who are so strong. Yes, that's my, I said that a few. Do other people have that theory? Because that's what I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that said that. My theory is that the ancient weapons were the commanders, Joy Boy's commanders. That's my thinking. One of my videos said that. I forget which one of the chapter reactions. I was saying that, like, because when you think about like Kaido's things, like they're the calamities, the natural disasters. So like 800 years from now, if you just knew the names like King of Wildfire, like the wildfire, the plague, the drought, you wouldn't think an elephant, a fat like dumpling man dinosaur and a Lunarian. You wouldn't think that. You would just hear drought, wildfire, and plague, right? So in the same way, it's like Poseidon thing, blah blah, ancient weapons, right? Ancient weapons is the Calamity, the names. So then it makes sense if they're all tied to Joy Boy. Then Joy Boy. Wait, why am I lagging now? Hello? No. Maybe it's because my foot's on the thing. Okay, let's hope this doesn't. Let me know if I'm back. Yeah, that's my running theory. That's where the premise of the ancient weapons video is going to be. That I think that they're just the commanders. They were just names that, put the name ancient weapons, right? Like the same line. It's like the monster trio, right? Out of context, you had no idea that it would be a green guy who with 3 swords, a rubber boy, and a womanizer, right? Like you wouldn't think the monster trio is that. That's the point with Oda. Is like history, it has to do with a lot of context, right? When you write things down, come to the future, you don't really understand everything, right? And that's why the Void Century is really crazy, because it's like it was a race. We're not allowed to have the context. But that being said, I think where I'm gonna go next with this video, or wait, was I supposed to be saying, oh yeah, this is perfect, no one can die at. Yes, I think this is why Nika chose Luffy. Now the next question is, so if this is why Nika chose Luffy, why did it take so long for Luffy to be awakened into Nika? What were the exact requirements? And so I think now, so I think I have the answer to Luffy's thing, and now the question is, do I want to explain Pell, or do I want to talk about it in Luffy case and then wrap it around with Pell, and then explain that might be what Yamato needs to do? If essentially, right, if you really understand your fruit, right, then the awakening part is either unintentionally fulfilled or intentionally fulfilled. So Luffy unintentionally fulfilled it, and I have an answer to why now, of all times, it happened now versus against Lucci, Crocodile, Katakuri, Doflamingo. I have an answer to now why it's different now. The other people are, so I guess it makes sense to explain the Luffy thing first. So the Luffy thing is that if he's the warrior of liberation, right, to truly awaken, he has to become the warrior of liberation, and so he has to liberate. And yes, in Alabasta, and he's been doing that ever since, like, the entire series, right? So what makes it different now, like, versus Fishman Island, all these other times, right? I think Fishman Island, he didn't really care to liberate them. He just wanted to, like, stop these people for a friend, right? And I think, like, a lot of times it was for a friend. I think Doflamingo in Dressrosa was, like, the first time Luffy's just like, no, I'm going to save these people, right? Like, all the other times it was, like, for friends, right? But then against Doflamingo, it was more like, I need to save this country. I need to save these people. Whole Cake Island, that wasn't a thing. And then in Wano, we got that over and over again, like multiple times, where Luffy's saying, I'm going to liberate, essentially saying those things. But I don't think that was the only thing. I think what the awakening part is that in order to awaken, Luffy had to liberate against a conqueror. He had to, the conqueror hit, I think, was the pivotal thing. The Kaido, and so yes, Doflamingo had conquerors, but he wasn't using it to fight. He was clashing with Luffy, but he didn't have Conqueror's coding. I think the Conqueror's coding, Luffy being hit with Conqueror's coding, was what needed to be had to awaken Nika, in the sense of like what the liberation factor or liberation opposition that Luffy need to face had to be so high. It need to be a Kaido level conqueror in order for Nika to awaken. And clashing and getting hit by a Kaido level conqueror and being like not being afraid to be hit by him, right? Because that's the other part. Not being afraid to fight a conqueror like that is what awakened Luffy. That's what I think it is. Where it's like if the premise of Luffy being or Nika choosing Luffy is not being afraid to take damage for what was Luffy's exact quote? I'm not the least bit afraid of getting hurt, and then he wanted to be a pirate, right? So essentially getting hurt, what you get hurt by, how you get hurt by it is important to that, right? Because Luffy has to be able to tank it. He can't be afraid to tank the hits. And so normally most of the people would be afraid to fight Kaido, right? But Luffy's not afraid, and he took a full-blown hit, no defense. I think that's like probably the important part, the no defense part, because technically the other times he was defending himself, but like he had to be not afraid to get hit. And now Luffy is getting hit over and over and over again by Kaido, and it's not affecting him at all. I think that's the part of Nika that's like Luffy essentially can't be like really hurt by these hits anymore, right? And that's like what awakens Nika. And it's really interesting, and I guess that's where I'm trying to find the words for this. But when you think about it like that, right? The Conqueror hit is what catalyzed the main thing, right? Because Luffy has been on the brink of death so many times before, but he's never awakened. This is the first time Luffy's ever been hit full-blown Conqueror's attack in the entire series. That's the one thing that's been different, the Conqueror's hit. And so to me that makes sense, but I don't think it was the only thing. I don't think that just Conqueror's alone, because Luffy was hit with it before, right? But then the recent dialogue of Luffy saying what he was saying, right? That's important to Nika. And I think in a lot of ways, the same thing with Zoro, right? Zoro was tested by Enma. I think that Luffy was being tested by Nika in this way. Not tested by Nika like actively, right? Because like Enma was like killing Zoro, whereas Nika wasn't killing Luffy. But so that's where it's interesting, because then I'm going to tie it back to Pell, because if maybe he is awakened, maybe he awakened into something else. Why? Because in his actions he essentially would have died, but he fulfilled protecting Alabasta. He was the guardian spirit of Alabasta. He protected the citizens of Alabasta for the sake of his life, and he died for it. And so that might be why he's still alive now, because he awakened his fruit. And he truly embodied it, right? His last words before the explosion is, "I am the guardian of Alabasta." Who told him that, right? Like, he had to understand his fruit, and that was probably the situation where he awakened. And then you ask yourself, like, wait, if that's the case, then Yamato might awaken. Yamato might, we don't know in what context, but protecting Wano, she's the guardian spirit of Wano, right? And if she knows that, right, because Kaido told her that, now, but think about it, Kaido has this fruit. Kaido worked hard to get this fruit. Yamato is imprisoned. Yamato is chained up. Yamato isn't like favored by Kaido, but she managed to eat this fruit that he worked so hard for, right? That's odd to me. So it's almost like the fruit chose Yamato. Why? Because Yamato thinks she's Odin, and Odin is literally the guardian spirit of Wano. And so to me, it makes sense that fruit chose Yamato, because she is compatible because she wants to be the guardian spirit of Wano by being Odin. And so now in terms of awakening it, now she just has to demonstrate it. Now she has to what's it called? To actually protect Wano. And there's so many examples of what she can do to do this, right? And these ice powers are really, really interesting because of, if you were here for the ice things before, because so far there's Brook, there's Aokiji, but now there's Yamato with ice powers, and Wano being the shape it is, the style it is, all that stuff, and now her having ice powers and the guardian spirit. Keep in mind, that means that all of these people existed in the past and their lineage factors are extracted. So now the question is, Kaido. If Kaido has an awakening, what is the will of the dragon, right? If he already awakened it, that means that Kaido knows the will of this dragon. We don't know what the fish fruit is, but it's a fish fruit. Think about that. It's the fish fruit. No chance, right? There's no chance. Tell me if there's a chance that Kaido's fruit might be the guardian spirit of Fishman Island. It could be the Celestial Dragons. It could be. I don't know. This is where I'm a little iffy, but like, let me Ryugu Palace, right? Ryugu Palace literally is Dragon Imperial Palace. But why? Like, we've never seen any dragons. There, like, what? Why is fish? Like, that's crazy, right? It's literally like it's called Ryugu Kingdom. What does that mean, right? What does Ryugu translate to? Dragon, Ryu means Imperial Dragon, does it not? Japanese to English. Dragon.
Ryu.
Okay. Imperial. How do they know what a dragon looked like unless they've seen something they've seen? And that particular type of dragon. Yeah. Look at this. This literally... Look, it even has... Oh, it has Kaido's... It has the antlers. Do you guys see that? Oh, you guys can't see it. Oh no, hold on. Yeah, it's gold too. So okay, here's now the problem though. if he's the guardian spirit of Fishman Island, then how would he have the awakening? When has he protected? Big Mom has protected Fishman Island. Whitebeard has, but Kaido hasn't. But I did talk about it in one of my videos that what's it called? Kaido does have a weird preference for Fishman. I mean, given Jack is a Fishman and he just loves Jack. But he's also like Kaido has never done anything to Fishman. Oh, do you guys want to know the craziest thing to support the theory that Kaido loves Fishman? He's gonna become Golden Awakens, yo. Yeah, this is... I'm trying to think of like why this would make sense for Kaido to have an awakening, right? Because this is where like the thought kind of like... I wasn't gonna go to this far in depth, but like what I was gonna say is Fishman Island, right? Ryugu, that's the only place that I know of, right? But then there's that Winter Island that Shanks was on, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Celestial dragons. There's obviously the celestial dragons. This Kaido's fruit could be the progenitors of the celestial dragons. It could be that, right? Like they're the descendants of the celestial dragon. It could be that, right? But then it's like, but it's a fish fruit. So that's really interesting. Wait, what was the purpose of what again? I forgot what I was teasing. Please. The Kaido's preference to Fishman. Okay, this is super stretched, but I didn't put this in the video because I thought like I would need to explain it more and people would think it's like a super stretch. But Kaido has slave labor. That's not a lie, right? Like I was saying in my videos that all the Yonko, like the what's it called? All the Big Mom, Rock's remnant Yonkos, Big Mom, Whitebeard, Kaido, they all, in ways of their own, don't do slavery the way Celestial Dragons do, even though they can. Even Shiki didn't have it like the way Celestial Dragons had it. Now, Kaido had slave labor camps in the prison system, right? That's what I was talking about in my Kaido video. And that's very America-like because America's prison system is basically slave replacement. But anyways, the point being is that if you went to Udon, right, the labor camp, you were working. Everybody. You were either working or you were executed. That's how it worked. And so everyone in Udon was, even Luffy, even Kid, right? Everyone, it doesn't matter what you did, petty crime or treason, you were working. So he doesn't have a single Fishman slave. No, well, yes, but so, and he loves Jack, right? But there's one thing more than that. There was one person in Udon. Everyone else is working, or you were a warden, or like a prison thing. One person was not working. Who was he? Kawamatsu. And you know what's crazy? Why wasn't Kawamatsu executed? Orochi wanted to kill all the Akazaya 9. Why? Yes, we'll poison him, but to me, it sounds like if he couldn't kill him, he just wanted to torture him, right? But he was having nightmares about Kawamatsu and the rest of the Akazaya 9, right? He was having nightmares. He wanted to execute them. He wanted to prevent the thing from coming through. Why was Kawamatsu still alive in the internment camps? Is it because Kaido didn't want any fishmen? Not like that. To me was just like, yo, wait, hold on. That's a crazy detail. Because technically Kaido runs the Udon camp. So like, and like he told like, we're going to break Luffy's will. Kawamatsu is plenty strong, by the way. He's the Akazaya 9. Why wasn't he recruited to be on the Beast Pirates? He put everyone there to break their will, Kid and Luffy, right? And so the way I was seeing it was like he didn't want to make a fishman into a slave. And my connection there, right? And if you haven't watched my Rock's True Form video, I would go watch that one. Because what I was explaining in that is that there might be a world where Rox was a fishman. They were not giving him food too. Yeah, so they wanted him dead. Like, but and like Kaido starved his own daughter, so I don't think he's past like that. But like he just could like what? Why couldn't Kawamatsu also be working? You know what I mean? Like that made no sense. And so in the video I was saying that technically, right, if Big Mom says she got the fruit from God Valley, I mean, celestial dragons were there, yes. But there's only one person who died at God's Valley. According to what we know. And that's Rox. So is there a world where Rox was the previous owner of the fish fruit model dragon that Kaido has? I don't know. I mean, maybe, but like I'm also like not super sold on that, but it's like it's a possibility. Because he's the only person that died. Big Mom got the fruit that day, gave it to Kaido. Now Kaido protects fishmen, somehow loves fishmen. It's very interesting. But so going back to this original thing, right? For this video, if we're saying Kaido is awakened, I need to have a plot line of my idea that makes it make sense for Kaido to have awakened. Like, I don't know if saying he's the guardian spirit of Fishman Island would make sense in this video, because it would take so long for me to get to this point of the Fishman thing. Makes sense how Big Mom got to the fruit then and give it to Kid. Yep, exactly. Yep, exactly. Now, celestial dragons. It's like we have to look at what Kaido's done. What he did in the past. Was there anything good? Was there anything crazy? Was there anything different? What in his past could have awakened it? Like, oh, I think I figured it out. I think I got it. No, but I like this Fisherman Island connection. Okay, here, let's do this. Let's look up Celestial Beasts, Turtle Dragon. Let's go to Dragon. Okay, let's see what it says for this. Dragon corresponds to the season spring, green, blue, element wood. Man. Where did the emperors get their OP devil fruits? Special island of devil fruits. It would be interesting. Big Mom got it by eating caramel. Kaido, Blackbeard killed for his. Whitebeard, we don't know. I don't think we'll ever know. Kaido got it from God's Valley. We do know that. Give me 1 second, guys. By the way, I'm almost done, here. So if you, with the stream, so if you guys have any like other questions, start pouring them in. But I'm just gonna finish this plot line, I guess, ideal line of I'm gonna finish reading this at least while we're here. Okay, so there are 5 types of dragons. Celestial dragons who guard the abodes of the gods. So there are 5 types of dragons. Dragon spirits who rule over wind and rain, but can also cause flooding. Celestial dragons who guard the abodes of gods. So that's 1. Surrounded by water or clouds. Dragon spirits who rule over wind and rain. So this is probably in reference to our like Luffy dragon dad. Earth dragons who cleanse the rivers and deepen the oceans. Interesting. Treasure guarding dragons. Imperial dragons, those with 5 claws instead of the usual 4. Ooh, I never... Kaido dragon form. Oh, I just realized you guys can't see what I'm looking at. Okay, 4 claws. Okay, we got that. Yeah, he might grow another claw, which is like a small thing, but it's like, that'd be kind of crazy if Oda actually did that. Well, I mean, Kaido has 4 fingers. I mean, 4 fingers. 5 fingers, so it's like weird that it went to 4 in the first place, and then it makes sense to go back to 5. Central Dragon, 5 Celestial, Beast, Cardinal, 5 Heavenly Beasts, right? Like, there was the 5th thing. Yellow Dragon of the Center. Five Heavenly Beasts, so... Azure Dragon of the East and something Green Dragon. Dragons with complex, blah blah, divine. Symbolizes element of wood, life, sunrise, spring, health, strength, fertility, blah blah blah. Okay, what about the center dragon? Oh wait, I keep pulling it up over here. Jamal, do you think Kaido could have beaten the old Whitebeard? Current Kaido could beat old Whitebeard. Yeah, I believe so. The Whitebeard that showed up at Marineford, I think Kaido could beat that. Prime though, that's different. Prime Whitebeard, different. This old Whitebeard, I think Kaido could have 1v1'd. I think so. Unless Whitebeard was willing to like destroy the world to do it, which he apparently could do, right? Like maybe. But like also like Whitebeard's fruit prime is like bypasses armor, so The horned dragon is evil, apparently. Demolus, where do you see that? The other dragon. Yes. Prime Whitebeard beats Kaido without question. I can agree to that. Old Whitebeard is a discussion. I think, like, given if he wasn't sick, maybe but because he's sick, I feel like it doesn't make sense to think that like Kaido wouldn't be able to beat a sick old man. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing with like Rayleigh, right? Rayleigh's hella strong, but he's old, right? Like he even said that when he was fighting Kizaru. He's like, man, like I wish I wasn't so old and winded. Like maybe I could do some more, but like I'm not gonna last, essentially. So I feel like that's a similar thing where it's like if Whitebeard wanted to fight Kaido, he wouldn't have lasted. Like Kaido's up here, king of the hill, curb stomping everybody, and like this Luffy, even before Gear 5, could have done stuff to Whitebeard, right? Like Conqueror's Haki Gear 4 Luffy, that could have done stuff to Whitebeard. And not talking about like the vibration thing, how Luffy's rubber counters it. Even without that, like this Luffy could have done damage to Whitebeard, I'm pretty sure. This Whitebeard, you know, the old Prime Whitebeard's different, right? But yeah, I feel like if Whitebeard wasn't sick, then it'd be more of a question. But I feel like sick Whitebeard that showed up to Marineford, I don't know. I feel like Kaido just kind of should just bop him, even though it hurts to say because I love Whitebeard. Whoa. Okay, the dragon as a symbol of imperial authority. At the end of the reign, the first legendary emperor Huang Di was said to have been immortalized into a dragon that resembled his emblem and ascended to heaven. Since the Chinese considered Huang Di as their ancestor, they sometimes refer to themselves as the descendants of the dragon. Celestial dragons. But then there's the Huang Di. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it does connect, but like I don't know how, because like that almost seems like, because like okay, because the main question here, right, and I want to get to this before we go. Do I read spoilers? No, do not mention the spoilers here. I don't read the spoilers. Is if Kaido awakened, this idea counters the Nika theory. The Nika was Lunarian. Okay, so what I thought originally was, what if there's two thinkings, right? Kaido saved King. King is Lunarian. What if the dragon was originally the guardians of the Red Line? And so at the time, he was part of the guardian spirit of the Lunarians. And so he might have been able to awaken it because he saved King. And that would be the equivalent that might awaken him. But then again, what I'm saying is that counters the whole, the Fishman thing, the Fishman connection. And then now with this idea, right? The does Nika's silhouette have wings? No, it does not. It does not have wings. But then the other part of it is the what's it called? The what I just read about the celestial dragon, like the guy being turned into the dragon and then the people being descendants of the dragon, right? That'd be the celestial dragons, right? So then it would make sense if the dragon fruit was the guardian spirit of the celestial dragons rather than Kaido's awakened fish fruit awakened to dragon. Yeah, that you know, that is a possibility. I don't particularly subscribe to that idea. Mainly because like I get the lore of it, and that could be important, but I feel like if it was involved, it would have been more included in the sense of like Momo's fruit started out as a dragon, right? Like, so it's based off extracted lineage factors, and so it wouldn't like then Momo would have to awaken from a Magikarp, but he didn't have to do that. But that being said, it's not completely out there that like it's already awakened, but then that counters the current understanding that Kaido, in the face of Luffy's awakening, probably has his own awakening underneath. So then Nika may not be Lunarian if he didn't have wings. Yeah. So there's that, right? Like where it's like, where do these black wings come from? Is Lunarian like is King like a full bred Lunarian? Is he part Lunarian? We don't even know that, right? Like he is Lunarian, but we don't know his lineage necessarily. But then again, like so the way I'm thinking about it, it's three things, right? But why the name is fish not dragon? Because the dragon ones are underneath the dinosaur stuff, right? What's his face is Queen's fruit is devil fruit. Japanese term for dinosaur is dragon. Kyoryu. What I want to see though. So these are all the ancient Zoans, right? He has the mythical Zoan. Because dinosaurs, dragons are the same word in Japanese, like dinosaurs called dragons. Yes, that was what I was trying to get at with the other part, the Kyoryu. That might be a reason. I'm not saying that the lore wasn't used for Kaido's thing, but what I'm saying is like, well, okay, if you're saying that the fruit being awakened was the failure, I don't know. That doesn't sound logical for it to be a failure. My Vegapunk video, I think, is the most sound reasoning as to why it's a failure. Also, recently, in my last video, I was saying it's probably because it didn't have a will in it, because Zoans are supposed to have wills, or all the fruit or Zoans. But so according to Japanese people, dragons really existed, yes, but we call them dinosaurs. And so the mythical parts, right, of these dragons, that might be tied to the lore, right? Like the Momotaro dragon thing. Like, I have to revisit this. I just think it's crazy that Kaido has this thing and then the Fishman thing has that thing. But anyways. Did Kaido do anything in favor of the Celestial Dragons? No. And if dragons are supposed to be benevolent, right? Enslaving people isn't necessarily... What I'm thinking about here is like if you were here earlier and you heard me read my script for that I'm writing right now with the awakenings and why Luffy awakened now, and then tying it back to Pell and Yamato, then this won't make as much sense to you because there's a lot of things to walk through. But essentially, if each devil fruit has a will, then to awaken it, you have to somehow satiate that will. So Luffy's is warrior of liberation, and then countering the strongest conqueror that we know so far, besides Shanks, I guess. But and then Pell, he protected Alabasta. He technically should have died, but he didn't, so maybe he awakened. Yamato is the guardian spirit of Wano. And why did the fruit choose her? Probably because she wants to be Odin, who also wanted to be the protector of Wano and open it up and things like that, right? So then it's like dragon, like Kaido's dragon, right? And so then Marco hasn't awakened. Why? Don't know necessarily. What's the Phoenix's will? Interesting, right? But the dragon is really interesting. Kaido's dragon. If he has an awakening in his pocket, then that would also mean that he somehow satiated the will of the dragon. So what do we know so far of Kaido that would satisfy that? Now the point is like, is Kaido a guardian spirit? And one of the options could be, since he's a fish fruit, then maybe he's the guardian spirit of Fishman Island, which makes sense because it's called Ryugu Kingdom. When their palace has the dragon on top that looks exactly like Kaido. So there is a possibility. But what did he do to protect them? We don't know necessarily. Could it be being with rocks? Could it be protecting Jack? Could it be protecting whatever? Don't know. Not sure. Is it protecting the Lunarians? Because Lunarians were the gods of the Red Line, and he saved King. So it could be that the dragon was the guardian spirit of the Lunarians, and so the original will would be to protect the Red Line. But that also doesn't make sense. Now there's the Celestial Dragons, who call themselves the descendants of the creators, and we know the dragon fruit can move islands, that kind of thing. Is it possible that the Celestial Dragons, that Kaido's fruit was the guardian Celestial Dragons, which then makes you wonder, how did he awaken it then, if that was the case, right? That doesn't make sense either. And it would make sense that nothing in recent history would make sense. We'd have to go backwards. So it's like fighting Moria on Wano. Was it taking over Wano? Was it enslaving people? Was it saving King and other people? Was it saving people? Was it something against Odin? Maybe after fighting Odin he awakened. Okay, Momo is pink, so maybe once he gains strong enough, he'll be able to pass on. Yes, exactly. That's what I said. That it's really interesting that now there's two fruits, and technically, now that Momo's there, his will is probably the first will that'll be in that fruit. But yeah, what is going on with this Kaido situation? I guess that's why I was having the block, because like I kept on thinking this far into the video when I should have just written it and then got to this point and then thought about it, but I didn't. In any case, Kaido. Unlikely that Kaido's fruit is linked to Celestial Dragons, since the original Celestial Dragons were kings of the 20 kingdoms that aligned against the Ancient Kingdom. Wait, yeah, Matt Cypher, I don't know if you saw my jolt, but when I jolted, your message also came up, and I had the same thought that what if that's why Kaido... No, but then that wouldn't make sense for why he awakened, because he'd have to line up with the fruit to awaken, right? But the ending part does make sense, where it's like after he awakened, he got severe depression, and he's like his the first thing we were introduced with Kaido is that his hobby is unaliving himself. It might be because his fruit wants to be passed on. Oh, jeez. But so going back to, I'm glad you said that, right? The Celestial Dragons were the 20 kingdoms. And who are they fighting? The Ancient Kingdom. And the Ancient Kingdom was probably like the Lunarians and in the D clan, right? Because the Lunarians are on top of the red line. Then after the Celestial Dragons came into play, they came there, right? And then, what's his face? What's it called? The D clan. They were the other counterparts to the Celestial Dragons. So if the dragon was with the Celestial Dragons, then that would mean that they'd have to counter the D. Which is what Kaido has been doing, has it not? The Wano was against the Ancient King, against the Celestial Dragon. Is that why Kaido's drawn to That's why Kaido's drawn to Wano. Because the Wano was also against the Celestial Dragons. Right? Because the Kozuki clan made the poneglyphs of the true history. So then conquering Wano might have been one of the things that the Celestial Dragons wanted to do. So that was the will. But then what would that be? Kaido would need to be a conqueror? Like, and that's what I was thinking. Maybe the Odin thing. Maybe beating Odin awakened it. Oh my god, wait a second. Wait, guys, I just thought of a crazy fucking thing. Holy shit. I think Kaido awakened it because he beat Odin. This is kind of... So I know that there's the one shot of Ryuma. I know that's there, right? And the elements of it is canon, but we don't know if the story is canon to the world. We just know that, like, that was, like, the Ryuma slayed a dragon. What if Ryuma slayed the original dragon that Kaido was? What if that was what Ryuma did? What if he slayed the dragon? That dragon. So the will for the fruit would be to counter the swordsman, to take revenge. That makes sense, right? This turned into a mega theory. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Matt Cypher. The one shot, you know, it's a story, but it doesn't necessarily mean like that would be the canon thing to One Piece, because that one shot was made way before One Piece. And so a lot of it's canon in the sense of the story elements, right? But like you just said, the dragon could be, instead of that dragon, it could be this dragon. And we know Wano was against the kingdom. Silly idea. Is Onigashima last name prior God's like? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it wouldn't make sense because Onigashima. Actually, not that it wouldn't make sense, but more so that like, why? I guess. How did that get there? Because it supposedly disappeared. It's not like Kaido would have dragged it there. Someone would have to drag it there. Something else. Marco said that the name of Onigashima changed, like it was called something else in the past. Onigashima? When did he say that? He didn't say that. Did he? Damn, now I'm thinking about this though. Alright, I'm probably going to end the stream here though. It's getting late and I gotta get some brain food and think more, but thank you guys for being here. This is a great conversation because it helped me a lot, actually. Mainly just like getting my brain out there and functioning here. It's just more fun, I guess, talking to you guys and getting thoughts out. Hopefully I'll get my motivation back. It was really solid, then things happened. I have some like adulting stuff to take care of, and then hopefully it'll be smooth sailing again. I know that in terms of adulting, like once I get the sponsors, like this, the adulting for this will be a lot easier because I have to put this on the back burners for a lot of other things, but I'm trying to make this the forefront of everything. So not the forefront of everything, but like, you know, trying to get this to be focused. Had a great time. Thank you for coming through. Glad you're here now, Demolus. New and memorable experiences, I hope. Let's see. I had this thought too. But it also wouldn't necessarily make sense because Wano was there, existed, right? When God Valley happened. It wouldn't make sense that it didn't exist. I don't think at the time of God's Valley, Kaido had the power to move Onigashima. It disappeared, but we don't know why. And if it is God's Valley, then it would be way more important, I feel like. And we know Onigashima is like this little tiny island. But then also this part is important because it's like, this resembles all of Wano. Onigashima is this little part right here. Yeah, I'm thinking two separate. But yeah, thank you guys coming through. Wow, my wife has been here the whole time. All right, good night, guys. Thank you for coming through. See you guys next time. Hopefully Thursday. I'm going to try and get a video out tomorrow. I'm going to try and get a video out Thursday. Then I'll stream Thursday night. Hopefully 1047 comes out Thursday night. If it doesn't, I'm going to stream again anyways on Friday. And I'll get my 1047 video on Friday. But other than that, you know,